The views expressed on the previous program.
Yeah, we love that ESPN crap. Crap being the word. Gee, I'm here today. George, you still here?
Advertisers or agencies.
Not for long. No.
560 WQAM. Miami.
George is getting squeezed out. You squeezing it out?
I just got done.
Yeah, me too. A lot.
560 WQAM presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, dial 567-0560 in Dade and Broward. In other counties, call toll-free 877-785-NEIL.
Remember what I told you about your good friend Flea? Beware the little flea.
Wireless phones. The
Step on
opinions
it.
expressed by Neil,
Crush
his
it.
guests, or his colleagues
Squish
do
it.
not represent those of WQAM management, staff, or sponsors. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM.
MONDAYSUCKS. All right. Hey, man, I'm Matthew McConaughey, and as you may know, I hate deodorant. But I finally found one that fits my lifestyle. New Unsure Odorant. Get solid protection, but still keep that pickle, onion, and gym sock smell. Listen, you don't have to wear it, but it would be a lot cooler if you did. Try New Unsure Odorant. Strong enough for a woman, but really, it's for a man who wants to smell as if he just ran a 5K in 100-degree temperatures.
10:01 at 560 WQAM on Happy Monday, May 11th. Not a happy day around this show. But then again, what do we know? Maybe they'll have a change of heart.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, and I do have some good news for me. Well, it's kind of embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. Remember I had that thing about the Social Security, my deposit, I thought that hadn't gone in there, and the guy called me on the air.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Well, come to find out that he said, April 21st. Well, I hadn't been looking that far back on my online statement.
Oh, so you had already gotten it.
So Thursday night, I looked back to the 20th, 21st, and sure enough, there it was. So I had to go through this. To try to get a hold of the Sunrise Social Security office, you can get a hold of the Pope easier. I mean, it's just, you don't ever get to talk to anybody live. And so finally, after about 40 calls, the mailbox is full. You're being transferred to this one, and nothing ever happened. You know, and then you're beep, 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 busy. I finally was able to leave a message and say, I'm embarrassed and I made a mistake and I want to correct the mistake and the stuff is in there and screw you. And that's it. So that's a little something.
Sure.
I mean, not. And then here's an email that came in. There's sure not a lot of emails, I'll tell you that, including over the weekend. Just really weak. Paul in the queue says at 8:20, Joe Rose was talking about Michael Phelps' marathon lovemaking session. I gagged on my Egg McMuffin. I don't blame you, Paul. Why is Joe Rose so concerned about all these other guys and, how they're doing with the ladies? What is that all about? Sounds a little gay to me. I don't know. Joe's obsessed with that crap. Maybe somebody in the audience has got a job for you.
Okay.
I mean, I feel, I don't know what to say at this point. I feel just nauseous. Ken up in Etobicoke says, I think Liz Taylor will be the next big one to go for our poll today.
Mm-hmm.
She was nominated as one of the greatest female stars of all time. Going through 7 husbands, won 2 Oscars. Liz Taylor, you want to put her on there or not? I mean,
absolutely.
You do.
Is Liza Minnelli on here?
Absolutely.
Speaking of washed up old broads.
Well, that doesn't. Liza Minnelli ain't dying yet, is she?
Isn't she? I don't know.
Did she say?
I'm dying over here.
Definitely. I'll put Liz on there.
Boy, you just put Patrick Swayze on there today, and it went zooming up there.
Well.
He's got a lung problem. The Dow's down 126. Boy, this is a morose way to start the week, isn't it?
A little bit.
Who's the next big celebrity to die? Farrah Fawcett, 242. She's right on the verge. Right on the edge. Mickey Rooney, 66. How old is he, about 200?
At least.
Don Imus, 35. Patrick Swayze, 24. Queen Elizabeth, 20 for the Queen. John Madden, 16. Neil Rogers, 15. Well, let me just say this.
I'm dying over here.
Joan Rivers, 9. Lindsay Lohan, 7. Mo Howard David at 7. Donald Trump, 3. And Don Shula, the brainstem, 3. And we'll add Liz Taylor to the list. A lot of death going on lately, you know what?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to be okay. Maybe you can go across the street. Oh, that's right. That's a sports nerd station.
Yeah, I'm not part of that trolley
up
program.
to snuff on that crap.
They don't like ratings there either.
They what?
They don't like ratings there either.
Well, they don't. That's good because they don't have any. That's a good thing. Barry Jackass finally discovered a whole bunch of things. First, he discovered that the ratings came out. Better late than ever, Barry. Hey, Barry.
You fairy.
You idiot. You troglodyte. You little turd. So Flea keeps lying to you, huh?
If that's how you want to put it, yeah.
How else would you put it? How can they be planning to put him in your job and stab you in the back and blow you out if he hasn't been discussed already, how much he's going to want and will he do it and all that stuff?
I don't know.
He's lying to you.
Okay.
Your good friend.
That's easy. It's easy to do.
What?
It's easy to do.
And I'm going to work with him now for the next 4.5 years?
Yeah, and you'll be very happy together, I'm sure.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I'll be very happy with it?
I was being sarcastic.
No. They don't care whether I'm happy with it or not.
No, they don't.
They're going to do whatever the hell they want to do to save a few bucks. They don't give a crap about people, about life, about what you've done. They don't care about ratings. They don't care about success. All they care about is cheap, 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 cheap. That's all they care about. That's this company, all the companies. That's the world in which we live today. Cut this, cut that. I say cut the crap. But they won't do it. I'm going to be joicing, I think, on and off during the show consistently.
I'll get some filler music ready.
I'm just telling you, that's how nauseous I am.
Yeah,
well, this whole business. Do I want to read Barry's long, ponderous? I just don't have the strength to do it.
Go ahead.
790 The Ticket moves Jorge Sedano to mornings, as if we didn't know that already. Started this morning. Anybody hear the Jorge Sedano show? Let's with Crystal Fernandez. And then, remember how they were denying that they were going to go syndicated in midday?
Yeah.
Beginning today, The Ticket, which dropped Sporting News Radio to enter an affiliation deal with ESPN, picked up Colin Cowherd's. Who the hell's that? Colin Cowpile? Colin Cowpile's ESPN show, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Steve White and 790 staffer Brandon Guzio will host from 1 to 3 p.m., with LeBastard and Stu Gott staying 3 to 7. Jonathan Zaslow lost his 10 a.m. to noon weekday show, was reassigned a weekend and fill-in duties, plus a role on Panthers programming. Howard Davis, 790 station manager, said he hired Fernandez to work on the Jorge Sedano show because they worked together at Fox Radio and they're a good fit. It fits. Just like Joe Bell's shoe evidently fits in your
rectum
ass. But nobody's saying nothing, though, huh? They're all mum?
Right.
Well, now maybe I did the wrong thing. Maybe I should have kept quiet about that email that Norma sent me after all kinds of calls and emails back and forth.
No, I don't think so.
I think you have a right to know.
Yeah.
That they're on the verge of screwing you and that your good friend Flea is on the verge of stabbing you in the back. Norman Elliott Kent sent me this email. It's a done deal, Neil. Prepare George for his termination this week. Are you prepared?
No.
I tried.
I know.
I tried to prepare you.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything else you or I could do, Norma says. I will write a letter in protest, but based on my last conversation with Joe, nothing has changed in his directives. So prepare to be screwed and tattooed.
Okay.
Prepare, bend over, drop your pants, spread your cheeks, prepare for a giant dagger, a red-hot poker.
Ooh.
Yeah. Maybe you'll like it.
I doubt it.
I don't think so. Then Barry goes on about Zaslow this and White getting his own show. He said, this wasn't the program director pushing to be on the air. I had to push him a little bit to do it. He really did a good job filling in on mornings. Not from what we heard. But then again, cheap, you know. He's the PD and he's also doing 2 hours every day. And they got syndicated Colin Cowpile, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's some really stiff competition. I guess that's just they've thrown in the towel with Colin Cowpile. Meanwhile, says Barry, WQAM beat the ticket in the recently released ratings book covering January 8th to April 1. Among men 25 to 54, WQAM was tied for 11th in the market with a 3.3 share, compared with the ticket's 2.1. QM has beaten 790 in three of the past four rating books by an average margin of 3.0 to 2.6. In the most recent book, WQAM's Joe Rose and Neil Rogers won their time slots by large margins. The ticket won the Sedano Orlando El Zaquiri matchup 2 to 3 p.m., 3-0 to 1-9. The LeBastard El Zaquiri matchup 3 to 4 p.m., 2 to 7 to 2-3, and the LeBastard Mandich battle 4 to 7, 3-3 to 3-0. Very tight. Nip and tuck. With LeBastard offering a strong lead in, the ticket won 2.1 to 0.5 from 7 to 8 p.m. Let me say it again, 2.1 to 0.5. When he usually runs a baseball show, and WQAM usually aired a dolphin show. But you know, the interesting part of this is, this was January 8th to April 1st. I see what he means, baseball show, like Fat Josh Friedman. It says WQAM signal weakens at night. No kidding. It says, judging by fans' reaction, the Panthers are taking a PR hit with this week's decision to drop Denise Potvin, a credible, polished TV analyst who criticized the team when appropriate. I see. Credible my ass. Good God. And then the last sentence, like an afterthought. Let me read to you the last sentence, the whole thing.
Okay.
WINZ 940 dropped Heat studio host Jeremy Marks Peltz as part of layoffs throughout Clear Channel. Former WQAM staffer Ken Malden died last week at 82. And that's it. That's all Barry's got to say about Ken. Yeah. That's the end of the article.
Afterthought is an understatement.
Yes. Former WQAM staffer Ken Malden died last week at 82. Barry, you are scum, man. You're an idiot. Wouldn't even take the effort to write a little blurb, a little something decent about a more than decent guy. You suck, Barry. You blow. You are the blowmeister, Barry. Barry jackass. I hope the Herald goes out of business, man. Is there anybody we like working there anymore? I don't think so. Anybody who likes us? I doubt that. Maybe that's one of my new goals, is to outlive the Herald, the fish wrapper, piece of crap, turd. So anyway, that's the deal. George is on the verge of getting canned. Mike says, I doubt you heard this. That's correct. But on Friday, I was listening to the end of Joe's show, and they were reading emails. They were reading emails? Well, they do that now and then, too. Zach read an email from the Kirk Herbstreit lover saying that he wants to hear more Herbie. I laughed so hard I almost spit my coffee all over my workstation, says Mike. When in doubt, spit it out, Mike. More of Jerk Street. Yeah, that'll do it. A lot more Ira Windbag and Jerk Street. I'm not going to worry anymore about those sports hour numbers and all that. They have a death wish anyway. They know what people don't want to hear, and they keep putting more and more of it on the air.
Oh, Neil Rogers.
God.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Britney Spears, with an all-new blog update. Well, everything is still going great with the tour. In fact, oh, hold on. Someone's at the door, y'all. Hi there.
Yes, hi, Miss Spears. I have a package for you.
Great.
Now just sign here, initial here, and your hanging out there. Thanks. Have a good day.
Will do. Can you believe that? There's like so many things to sign just to get a package. Oh, hi, Kitty. That's my longtime cat, y'all. Wow, he's totally acting crazy. He usually only does this when I open up a can of tuna. Here, Kitty. Come sit on my lap while I type this blog. Wow, she really likes my lap today, y'all. Now, where was I with my blog? Oh, wow, another person at the door.
Yes, we're the Church of... Oh, good Lord, your is hanging.
OMG, can you believe that, guy? That's so annoying when religious people try to convert you at the door. Wait a second. I feel a draft. Dang, y'all. My hanging out again. Oh, well, until next time, everybody. TTYL, y'all.
That putty cat was sure having a fit. 10:18 at 560 WQAM. Now, here's one from Brandon, who thinks that we're getting just flooded with emails. Okay. His was the one that just came in. His was the one. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh.
His emails are always good, or at least useful, or something.
Yes. Well, he's pissed off, and I am too. I'm so far beyond pissed off that I'm just almost speechless. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I'm speechless.
Well, you ought to be speechless. I don't know what the hell you're going to do.
I'm a little numb.
Well, but at least it didn't come out of the blue, though.
No, I know. There goes my perfect streak.
Of what?
I've never been fired in my life from any job, anywhere, at any time.
I have.
So is everyone else that I know. I'm the only person that I know that's never been fired.
I was canned in Batavia, New York, WBTA, by a guy named Dick Gamble who just came out of the nut house. And I was fired because of office politics, because an idiot named Bob Folkler didn't like me. And they made him the program director, some such thing. I don't remember how the whole thing went down. And Dick Gamble called me in, and, well, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-boop, you're fired. But life went on, and I guess I did okay, didn't I?
Yeah.
Didn't I do better than Batavia, New York?
Probably, maybe a little.
Brandon says, if Flea was such a friend of George and the show, you would think he'd put some sort of effort to stand up for George. But all I see Flea doing is being a backstabber. Here's what I would say to that.
Absolutely correct, sir.
If you thought you were getting a lot of hate emails, you ain't seen nothing yet, my friend, says Brandon. Now, what does that mean? A lot of hate emails about what? I don't understand
I don't
that.
know.
Usually I can understand what Brandon writes. I have no idea what he means. I mean, I know it's a Monday morning, but I guess the reaction is like no surprise. We've been getting them ready for it.
Right.
And their reaction is either they're pissed off about it, or they're happy about it, or they don't care, or they just don't believe it.
I've been getting a lot of that.
What?
Everyone thinks it's shtick.
It's not shtick. Why would you joke about something like that?
That's what I keep telling everybody. I said, this is funny to you? This is hysterical. I guess because other radio shows do things like this all the time.
Yeah,
somebody goes on
things.
vacation, they say that they're fired or in rehab or something.
Or they're in rehab, yeah.
Sure. So people are
Here's
conditioned.
one from somebody. How about adding Andy Dick to the pool? He's had a prominent position on several Ghoul pools over the years. Once again, George and company did an admirable job during your absence. Any chance the non-mentally challenged of your listeners could call or write WQAM management on George's behalf? Thanks, Vince. Well, you could try, Vince. It sure couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt. Michael says, I wanted to let you know that Bubba took calls on Friday. One caller said that Thursday you praised him on his great ratings. I listened to the Thursday show. I don't remember you saying anything like that. Yeah, I did say it on Thursday that I got the 18 to 34 men. He was number 3 at a 7 share, and that was the first time I knew he had any big number in any demo. Says maybe another listener knows exactly what he said. Yeah, I got some emails on that. John, don't you have something in your contract that gives you the authority to choose who does the show with you? I hope you can use your pull to keep George. Love the show, John. Well, guess what, John? I've been pulling it, and it ain't working no more. What, John? I've been pulling it, and it ain't working no more. PR Ralph says, well, if it's true, see,
I told you.
These people piss me off. This is not the kind of thing you joke about. This would be like my coming on here and saying, oh, my mother died, and it's a joke.
Ha ha.
Yeah. If it's true, looking forward to running into you down the road, George. If need, I can be contacted at the number below. It's a shame that they spend money on the non-talent, but the money-making talent has to go. Why not get rid of the beast and keep you? Wouldn't surprise me in the least if the beast. Now, why do I care about the George Sedano show? This is the second time he sent me this from the fake Larry King. And it's got the Sedano Show logo. To Neil Rogers, thanks for all the ass-kickings. It was fun, though I did get you once, my crowning moment. Don't let him Malden you over there from Twitter phone. Yeah, Twitter this. Get lost. Little Leaguer. Barry Jackass says, by the way, George had some very nice things to say about you. Well, what does that mean? You spoke to Barry Jackass?
Not that I can recall.
No. Barry also says, Hank didn't get back to me with the info I requested, so I waited for Ellie to get back. I thought she wrote a nice piece on Ken. Yes, she did. Not you, though, Barry, because you know nothing. You're an expert on nothing. Here's one from Sam. Whose brilliant idea is it to snuff George? You mean to tell me that Joe Asswipe Bell is solely responsible for this travesty? Oh, my God. No, he claims it's corporate, at the corporate level. Anybody they find who is in the least bit dispensable, you're fired. That's it. George belongs on the damn radio, and I'm pissed off, says Sam. Freaking Flea is an okay compliment, but when he's on by himself, I'm talking vanilla. He talks so fast, I hate listening to him, and he sounds like a dwarf on helium. A dwarf on helium. How do you like that? You ever hear anybody sound like a dwarf on helium? Oh.
Yeah.
That. Says, I hope another station picks him up and puts him on against one of the QM time slots. George would kick their ass. F this whole damn thing, just F it. I agree, Sam, F it. F it and F them, too. Bastards.
Well, if there
Heartless.
is any... Yeah.
What?
If there is any good news, or any good thing about my contract is that if I get fired, I don't have a non-compete.
Yeah. And how much severance they got to give you? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
No, seriously, they got to give you some severance pay.
Yeah, there's something in there about that.
There's something in there about that? You don't know?
No.
You haven't been checking that out lately with all these rumors that have been flying before that?
Like a month or two. I think it depends on if it's with cause or without cause or something, you know. Legally.
Oh, because they want to. That's the cause, because they want to. We're going to fire you because we want to. Here's the poll. Who's the biggest, the next big celebrity to die? I already read it. I'm just PO'd and foaming at the mouth. What did Brandon mean? If you thought you were getting a lot of hate emails, you ain't seen nothing yet, my friend. What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe he'll clarify. I'm sure he will.
You think?
I know.
You hope?
He's dependent.
Here's the schedule today. We got the Big O 2 to 4, Mad Dog 4 to 7, Dolphin tonight 7 o'clock at night. Oh boy, it's the 11th of May and Dolphins tonight. Oh, it's the Dolphins, man, the Dolphins and the Marlins. How about the Marlins? They lost yesterday. They suck. DA 8 to 11, and then we got that ESPN radio till 6 in the morning. 7 hours of that crap. But at least we don't have syndicated garbage in the middle of the day. Like, what's that guy's name? Clem Cowpile? Clem Cadiddlehopper?
Yeah,
whatever they got on across the street. Nice going there, Howard Davis.
Oh, Neil.
You guys blow.
N-O-N-D-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S.
Come on, open up. Open up, I say.
What?
Let me in. I got big news.
But I ain't got no makeup on.
Come on, you Flurry, open the door.
What the news?
You see this here? Production starting on Three Stooges movie. Still no decision on who will play Mo.
Oh, what?
Don't you get it, mallet head? They're thinking about this guy here, Benicio del Toro. Yeah, good actor. He makes a great lawnmower, but he ain't no Mo.
Yeah.
I'm perfect for it. Why, I am Mo. Once they get a load of me, it's a cinch I'll get the lead role.
Ah, you're dreaming.
Dreaming, huh? Well, see who's dreaming when I get back from Hollywood. Hollywood at last. I think this here's the studio right here.
Hey, mister, where you think you're going?
Now, see here. I am Mo Howard of David, and I'm here for the new Three Stooges movie they're making.
Well, I wouldn't go into that studio. They're filming a gangster movie in there.
Who cares? Get out of my way. Hello, everybody. I'm here, the starter of your Three Stooges movie.
And action.
I don't care how many Dago, Guinea, what greaseball goombas come out of the woodwork.
10:32 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you, May 11th of May, El Once de Mayo. Something special about this day?
No.
No. Well, I mean, El Cinco
Not that
de
I
Mayo.
know.
We had that. We survived that. Here's one from CT. It says, Neil, if this is true, and I don't doubt that it is, I think these people in management especially are in for a rude awakening. I'm a 12-year listener to this show, and Neil, you are you, but I really feel that George is the glue that holds this thing together. You are you, but George is the glue.
Well, that rhymes.
You two have been a team for so long, I couldn't imagine the show without his voice. I think it'll definitely be a scenario in which you just don't know what you got till it's gone, and that's a shame. I know what I got, but, I have nothing to say about this show anymore. And Norma can't. I mean, he's living up to that name. He can't. No matter what it is, Norma can't. I think I'm going to be joicing and joicing. I think the whole city here is going to, drown in a sea of brown Joyce.
Wow.
I'm serial. Oh, I got the thing. Don't send me any more stuff about Sirius. I got that article.
Okay, I won't.
Brandon never clarified what he's talking about. The fake Tom Jickler says, tried to warn you about Joe Bell. Poor George. Well, if you're so worried about it, phony Tom Jickler, why don't you send George some money? Send him a cashier's check for a few $100,000. I'm serious. I got to rejoice.
Okay.
I'm just warning you. We'll do the break a little bit early because I'm just exploding from the...
Rectum?
Yeah. Here's one that says, Neil fan since 1984. George fired. This is unacceptable. WQAM is dead to me. Dead to me. How do you like that, Joe Bell, you jackass? And then he sends Norma a list of all the different people that they've had to fire and all the cutbacks they've had to make. How come it isn't about Neil being sick and we're so concerned about Neil's health anymore? That couldn't have been a lie, could it?
Uh-huh.
Like I said last week, couldn't have been just a bunch of BS, an excuse. Oh, there's a bunch of nasty pigeons on the railing of my balcony. They just flew away. And now they came back. It's like a scene from the frickin' Birds. God, I hate pigeons, don't you? They make a lot of noise and they just mess up the balcony. They poop all over it. Huh?
Yep.
Gene in Sebring says, I'm hugely dismayed to hear that George may be getting fired. Maybe. That's the operative. He's still here. I sat here holding my breath this morning, waiting until I heard the sound. And there he was. Still here. You still here?
I don't know. I'll check. I'll go ask somebody.
I mean, like right now.
This is where I'm at right now.
It seems to me, Gene says, just like another nail in the coffin QM is building for you in the show. They can't easily dump you, and they really need the revenue you bring in, but they can continue to hamstring you by making it harder and harder for you to do what you do best. I don't want to hurt you by boycotting the show if and when they let him go, but you don't know how to express displeasure in a way that'll make a difference to management. There is nothing that'll make a difference to them. We could have, just like the damn Sri Lankans tying up Toronto again last night, on the Gardner Expressway, the main east-west highway in the city. They went out there and blocked the damn highway. And now they're back on University Avenue in front of the U.S. consulate again. Bastards. Sri Lankans. Anyway, Gene says I'm at a loss as to what to do. Well, that makes more than one of us, Gene. I'm at a loss of what to do. Other than just go do another Joyce. Maybe my body is expressing my personal displeasure. Okay. By releasing all of this toxic... You've heard of these toxic loans? Well, yeah. I'm doing a bunch of toxic dumps. Barry Jackass said, I meant George Sedano, not George, whom I do feel sorry for. Well, what does that mean?
I still don't understand.
Oh, I see. He meant, I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, I see.
George said nice things about
Jorge had some nice things. Well, what do I care about Jorge? Screw him. That one. Who gives a crap? Oh, but it's a sports station. And Barry, he's Mr. Sports. He's Mr. Couch Potato. Adolf Schickelgruber says the family that controls the New York Times empire has lost more than 86% of its fortune and may have to sell their controlling stake to get out of debt. The Ox-Sulzberger family, which has run the paper since 1896, also may face unusual pressure from about 24 descendants to cash out and restore their comfortable lifestyle snatched away suddenly by hard times. When in doubt, cash out. Until this year, the family had been living on wealth factored as high as $425 million, but today the family is down in their Times annual income to a paltry $4.5 million, which could shrink even more in the recession. Oh, $4.5 million, what a shame. Goes on and on and on and on. Screw them. We don't have time to worry about the New York Times. Here's one that says, I'm going to be sad if George gets fired by the radio station. Neil, you should see yesterday, Miami Herald in the sports pages, WIOD saying from 5 to 9 a.m. is a full page of Jimmy Syphilis on it. I enjoy you and George all the time, even when you're on vacation. Keep up the good work. Nancy from Delray. Oh, Nancy's got problems. I ate at the restaurant you ate at Sunrise last week. I like it. I like it, Boca. What is she talking about? She talking about that horrible place?
I don't know. The Grand Lux or whatever?
Grand Lux Cafe? Nancy's got issues. Here's one that says, I am the George is the second best talk show in town guy. Your station and their management, corporate and local combined, have shown a level of incompetence that is shocking, even by radio standards, even by South Florida standards, and most shocking of all, even by South Florida radio standards. I'm getting choked up about it. But getting rid of George is the last straw. What level of business savvy does it take to look at his fill-in ratings, consistently the highest on the station except for Neil over a very long period of time, and come to the conclusion that he's a rising star who should be treated as such? And how blind do you have to be to disregard that spectacular performance in favor of a sports nerd format that isn't doing well in the ratings, has never done very well in the ratings, and is never going to do well in the ratings? Mad Dog was wrong when he said this station stands for nothing. In fact, it stands for crap. Getting rid of George is a mistake that WQAM is hopefully never going to recover from. Another station will benefit. I'll be there ready to tune him in, as there are more people in South Florida than listen to the 3 sports nerd stations combined. Seamass from Weston says, long live George and down with QAM. Attaboy, Seamass.
That's sweet. Thanks.
It's a real mass.
Oh, Neil, God.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, we got a multiple car crash here. I just ran into a Honda. It hit another car.
Is there anyone hurt?
No, everyone else is fine, but I might have broken my hand. I was texting my office.
Do you need an ambulance?
I'm not sure. Hold on. I need to finish this text message.
Sir, is that a yes to the ambulance? Hey, what are you doing?
Hold on. I'm just sending a picture of the accident to my buddy Jeff, okay?
Get off the phone and help me get my car off the road, huh?
All right.
Sir, do you need an ambulance?
Can I just text you if I need one?
No, sir.
Are you on Twitter? Because I'm updating there right now, so you can just follow me about
Sir,
it.
I'm going to need a conclusive answer on the ambulance. Excuse me.
Yeah, lady, just text me with your insurance info, okay? I'll hit you back with mine. Or you can just send it to me on Twitter.
Yeah, you know what? Send it.
Yeah.
The lady I just hit told me to go myself with my phone.
When did you say that?
Right now. Turn around.
Whoa. Hey, whoa.
Sir?
Hey, lady!
Sir?
Ow!
I think I'll send that ambulance now.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Hey, Zach, 20-year-old sophomore at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst, majoring in art history. Zach. Hey, Zach. He's a fine-looking young man, Zach. I'm just going to sit here and stare at him.
Time.
Yeah, that's a double-digit big number.
See if he sounds macho or whatever.
It's a big number.
Into the job market. So
yeah, he said he's got a big number. Do you hear that?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Peter Parker says, thanks to George for years of excellent service. They're acting like you're gone. You're still here today.
One day at a time.
Maybe Norma is full of crap. That email that he wrote me, it just said, it's consider it a done deal and prepare George for this.
Yeah.
It didn't say, anything really.
It sounds like it's a done deal.
It sounds to me like he's just throwing in the towel. He's just given up.
Well,
because he always, lately, the last several years, Norma always comes out on the losing side. Even when he's confident that everything is going our way and yada, 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 it's a slam dunk. Yeah, slam this, dunk that, Norma. Of course, he's got big fish to fry in federal court.
I know.
Bigger fish than you
Small
or me.
Potatoes.
Fake Barry Jackass sends me this crap. Lincoln Financial Media. They're the people that operate that make-believe station across the street. First quarter revenues fell 31.8% to $14.8 million as the parent company, Lincoln Financial Group, reported a net loss of $579 million after taking a non-cash charge of $600 million after tax for impairment of goodwill in the annuity business. Impairment of goodwill. What does that mean?
I don't know.
The parent company has set its annual shareholders meeting for this Thursday. Well, maybe they'll finally throw in the towel across the street and say, what a waste of money this is. Wasn't bad enough Joel Feinberg peed all his daddy's money down the toilet, or at least a whole bunch of it. That wasn't bad enough. How come they're keeping this kid on there so long? Because he looks good?
So the economy's really bad right now, and eventually it'll turn around, and I would rather see
sounds like a retard.
They're passionate about and struggle to get a job for a couple of years and then be fine, rather than...
What?
He's lisping like he's got a mouthful of spit or something.
Switch into a major that doesn't really interest them to try to get a job. It doesn't make any sense. I'd rather see kids persevere through it and stay with what they're passionate.
He's a pretty. You know what I mean?
No.
Tommy Jicka, the fake one, says, any developments in simulcasting the show in Orlando? Read the rumors online. Any truth to them? No. Read the rumors online. Whatever rumors are, Mr. Radio and the same old bunch of misfits. Neil's doing this and Neil's doing that. Nobody's offered me one penny to simulcast the show anywhere. On Sirius, on Real Radio, on Unreal Radio. We're already on Unreal Radio. Bye, Zach.
People who are in the workforce who might have thought about retiring.
I'll give him a job. Jason says, I'm sorry, Neil, but I just tuned in. They really fired George? Well, not yet, but that's what Norma Kent says is going to happen this week. How much longer does he have? Who's taking his spot? Flea is going to take his spot, the assassin. I think Flea wants to be the next Petey Bolger. The assassin. I thought that in your contract you got to choose your producer. I thought so, too. I started this Monday in a great mood, says Jason, but not anymore. Now I just want to put my head in a wood chipper. You can't do anything, Neil God? Oh, that's right. Lay it on my ass, okay? I've tried everything I know but standing upside down. All the best, George. This could actually be the best thing that ever happened to you, a new beginning. Look at it that way. P.S. Joe Bell, if you're listening, I want to put my foot right up your joist, you son of a bitch, burn in hell, says Jason. What do you really mean, Jason? I guess now we know what Randy was talking about. A lot of really pissed off people out there. You understand, this isn't some contrived controversy. We don't do contrived controversy on this show.
No, we don't have to.
No, we have enough real. That's right. That's a good point. It never ends. Everybody's getting canned everywhere. And so why not George? You know, the Dow's down 97 points. Big deal. Big Simus. Jeff says, Neil, I'm disappointed but mostly confused about this George stuff. I kept hearing that your contract had an ironclad clause. That's where you're wrong, Jeff. No ironclad. That's not the way Norma writes contracts. Everything is, I see, like so-so. Choosing your producer, and now you sound so defeated. What's the deal? I am defeated, according to Norma. I know that you have spineless, ballless representation posing as your agent. That's correct. But I would think that even the most simple of simpleton posers would be able to do something so rudimentary like, maybe enforcing a contract that he was involved in shaping. He was involved in the wording of it, and it's too ambiguous and whatever because of his wording. I always thought it was ironclad. I thought it was there was no debate about it. And then when you got a little weasel, a little knucklehead like Flea running around there telling you crap. He told you this morning that he hasn't had any discussion about this? It's news to him?
Yeah.
How is that possible? Are they just assuming that for a few pesos that he's going to do this in addition to his other 6 jobs? They're just assuming that? I don't believe it. You believe it because you're
gullible.
Easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Gullible, easy.
Everybody knows it.
You think that Flea is your good, close personal friend because he goes to concerts and gets stoned with you or whatever. I've been telling you, beware the Flea.
I don't believe it.
Me either.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I think I should just play that till 2 o'clock.
I don't believe it.
But nevertheless, yeah. Oh, a lot of emails coming in. Brandon was right. Oh, here's Al Dente, idiot. There's not a Chinaman's chance that George Kent will ever work in radio again. He's fine as your sidekick, but when he flies solo, it's like being bombarded with battery acid. If you have a sidekick at all, it should be someone who will challenge you, call you an ignorant idiot, start some Schmidt. People love to hear when you're pissed off. Well, you know something? I'm sick and tired of hearing about that. People love to hear when I'm pissed off. I'm an old, doddering old man, okay? I don't have the energy to be pissed off all the time. Oh, have a hectic day, Neil. Have a hectic day. Screw you. Why do you think people send you ridiculous emails with stupid suggestions? They want you to scream, yell, carry on, have a stroke. That's entertainment. I'd love to audition for the job. I hate gay liberals, and I'll argue with you all day long. Love, Al Dente. Screw you, Al. Drop dead. Kathy and Van say, I've listened to your show for many, many years. I've been loyal to your sponsors, and this is what corporate always looks for. But if George will no longer support any company who advertises on... If George goes, I'll no longer support any company who advertises on QM. Take that to the bank, Joe Bell, says Kathy and Van. Yeah, take that and stuff it, Joe. Kenny Gramer says, there's no question about the fact removing George from the Neil Rogers Show is stupid, but I won't go on about it like the other emailers are. One other thing. There's no doubt about it. If George is let go, he'll land on his feet. He's an intelligent, hardworking, conscientious person. Well, now you're getting a little carried away. The only thing, this is not exactly the kind of economy one wants to make a new start in. Great timing, Joe Bell, Nickhead. George, as sappy as this may sound, it's true. When one door closes, another one is open. Good luck to you. We're all hoping you stick around.
Thanks,
Kenny Gramer. Oh, here's Ray L. with another poll suggestion. And in the middle of this, if I had a stroke on the air, Ray L. would be sending poll suggestions. Get a life already, Ray L. Oh, here you go. Paul Smith, you know that one, the fake religious nut?
Yeah.
Sorry to hear George's pending dismissal, but sounds like the judgment from God for all the no-God jokes. George, repent, it may save your job. You too, Neil. The power of Christ commands you. Fagness is a choice, not a birthright. Aside from the way you people dress and skin tone, there's nothing good about being queer. Have a happy. P.S. Joe Bell is a fine leader. Skin tone. Well, what does that mean? Gay people have a certain skin tone?
Yeah, pink, I guess.
Pink? Pink? Maybe my skin is just a little gray. Oh, gay. Steven says, I enjoy listening to George, both you and when he's doing his thing. Both with you. And what are they going to do what are they going to put on this summer? It's amazing the numbers that you have in spite of this jackass Jolly Joe. George will land on his feet somewhere. I'll be listening. Says somebody. Some guy.
Think some guy.
Yeah. Here's one that's too long to read off the damn thing. I'm going to print it out. When in doubt, print it out. That's right. So let me ask you, during the course of this hour, nobody has come in, nobody has said, oh, it's premature,
No.
Flea hasn't come in there and said, here's Gregory Belmore, the Belmore building. Another fake. I won't miss George at all. Yeah, you're the idiot, Gregory. Belmore my ass. Here's one from Greg, some other Greg. What will you do if George gets fired? I will keep listening. Neil's my God, regardless of who his sidekick is. I will email and call WQAM to complain. Nothing. It's about time he got canned. I will. This is a poll. This is a poll. Oh my God! What will you do? Yeah, get a life, Greg. Here's one from somebody with a phone number in Boca. Joe Bell is a jackass. Why does he insist on screwing up the Neil Rogers show? He can screw up the sports nerd shows all he wants, but not your show. It says. He's already done it. Short and sweet. George's last day on the show will be the last day I listen. Sorry, Neil, but it's George that kept me tuning in. Well, how do you like that?
Damn.
Yeah. It's George that kept this faker with no name tuning in. And the last day that you work will be the last day he'll listen.
Right. I'm sure.
How's he going to know when the last day you work is? If you don't tune in.
Right.
That sounds like a shot at me and a shot at Flea, too. Flea. I say get the bug spray. That's what I say. How's he going to work with me not knowing that I know? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Knowing that I know what he's done. A2, Flea.
Oh, Neil. This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
This is CNN. All schools are closed in Mexico, which has been hit the hardest by the swine flu virus. They're even asking prostitutes to join the cause. Mexico's President Felipe Calderón exploded in his pants. Holy crap! Police said he was taken to the hospital with second-degree burns around his genital area.
CNN breaking news.
What was that? Oh, my God. That sounded like a boysenberry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Boysenberry in your pants.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Barry McCockner says, if George gets 86, I'm going to come down there and kick Jolly Joe square in the nuts. Well, bring a search party with you, Barry, because it'll take one to find any. I don't know what to tell you, Neil. I don't know what to tell you. How could any company take the ratings book that we just had and turn it into this disaster? Turn everything sour.
Well, if you don't like ratings.
Maybe they like the nighttime number. The ones that start with a. And the ones that finish with a. At 10 to 11 p.m. hour. Brandon clarifies. He says, what I meant was there will be a flood of emails to come when Flea starts. People are going to be up in arms and will bash Flea. I think I might have to put Flea above Josh Cordes on the hate list, he said. You know, Josh Cordes never cashed that check.
Still?
Which is fine with me. He can tear it up and throw it away. It'll save me, you know. I'd rather send that money to you. But why is it that people put the bum's rush on you and then they don't cash the check? What the hell's that all about?
Yeah.
He's probably in on this, you know, knowing him. Corporate weasels, Pete Bolger wannabes. Rob says, for what ungodly reason do these Weasley bastards think that dropping George is a good idea? They don't care whether it's a good idea or not. They just want to save the money. Don't you understand? It's about money. The philosophy behind the rotheads of the station obviously don't listen to their own station, read their book ratings, or understand the complexity of radio in general. After the 940 liberal radio went sports hole, that audience has swayed to QM, Rogers, and George. Can they dig their collective asses out of their sports hole long enough to maybe listen to their own audience? No. No, they don't care and don't understand the nosedive ratings they've become so used to. Rat bastards, says Rob. Rat bastards. A lot of angry people out there. A lot of people pissed off and fired up. And George is still here. He's not canned yet. Nobody's got the balls to come to him and, look him right in the eye and say, this is what we've got planned for you, mister. So I get it indirectly by Norma. Prepare George for the end. Oh, here's one from Rick in Ormond by the Sea. Rick. Wait till you hear his take. He says, this is nothing more than an attack on you, meaning me. Maria Bartiromo says, hello, Mr. Rogers. I'm very sad to hear that George's job is on the chopping block. I certainly hope he took my advice and got long in the markets at the beginning of the year. If not, George, I encourage you to take advantage of the down market today, as it's a true buying opportunity. Dow's down 109. On another note, with George's departure, it would be a great time for us to start that Invest for Your Future Friday segment. Have Norma contact my people as soon as possible. Best regards, Maria. Go away, Maria. I'd rather have Ira Windbag on. Here's one that says, is George really being fired, or is this another Joe Bell stunt?
See?
Yeah. If he's being let go, can you tell us why and when? I don't know when. And why is money? Money, honey. What's the new show going to be about without George? Oh, the humanity, it says. Yeah, oh, the humanity. Oh, the inhumanity. Yeah, you're right. They think everything is a shtick.
It's a joke. And I understand they've been conditioned.
It's a joke. It's a shtick. We just make stuff up to have something to talk about.
But we don't. See, this is what gets me. Every other show does this kind of crap, but we never have, so joked about such things.
Jorge in Miami says, why don't you buy George a tow truck so we can open up a repo company? Or if George wants to stay at QM, he should volunteer himself for a pay cut. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Here's one from Jeff. I thought I just read one from Jeff. I'm disappointed, but mostly confused about this George stuff. I kept hearing that yeah, he already said that. Oh, I didn't finish it. I would think that even the most simple of simple posers would be able to do something so rudimentary like, I don't know, maybe enforcing a contract that he was involved in shaping.
Yeah.
Please tell George if he does get let go, I'll fly to South Florida, hold Norm down so he can kick him squarely in his microscopic ball sack. Oh, here's a good one. It says George is a fag. Yeah, that's good. Kick him while he's down. You slimeball. You scumbucket. You loser.
Yeah.
You pimply-faced loser.
First of all, that's not an insult. And second of all, he wishes.
Yeah. Dream on. So Richard, who's one of our chronic regulars, says, this is nothing more than an attack on you. Management has to know that you and George are a team. They tried to make you go away with a giant pay cut. That didn't work. Now they get rid of George and make you... his and your life miserable. They want you to crack and do something that will violate your contract so they can move you aside as well. It's time to dump your current agent, and I use the term loosely, and find a radio home that will appreciate your talents. No, George equals a lesser Neil Rogers show. Like a wise man once said, don't let the bastards get you down. Hang in, George and Neil. A listener no more if the team gets broken, says Rick. So how do you like that? We got a whole bunch of people threatening me that if you get canned, they're not going to listen to me. Well, you know what? Screw them. That's what I say. I'm all for you, and I've done everything I know, and if I could do anything else, I would do it. But, my God.
I'll listen.
No, you won't.
Sure I will.
Why?
If I'm in the car and stuff. Well, it's the only talk show I've ever liked.
And you'll listen to your close friend Flea on the air? Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
How the hell do you spell that? Not Flea.
Yeah. Oh, shake?
I don't see how he can look you in the face.
With his two eyes.
And move his mouth. Make sounds with his mouth. I don't see how he can do it. Adam says, what's all this noise about George being fired? Is this true? Good God, why? What about all the lost advertising revenue the station will lose when he goes? Who's going to do all the porn shop and stripper club appearances? You think people are going to see any of the other jackball stations on that station? No chance. Who's going to do the show when you're off during the summer? Please, Lord, no tapes. No, it's going to be Flea. Probably Flea and the Beast.
Or who knows? Maybe it'll be, every day a different producer or a different product.
Yeah, Flea and somebody. The show won't be the same without George. We'll reconcile the same after Marvin left and his replacement came in. Oh, wait, bad example. Forgot that, it says. Tell George not to worry. Obama says the economy is looking up. He's going to create lots of new jobs. George can probably have one of them, don't you think? If not, let him know I need a new lawn guy. Love you, Neil. Love you, Adam. Oh, the real Adam Kirshner, it says. Is it? Do you know his email address?
Yep.
AM something?
Yep.
Okay. The real Adam Kirshner. How do you like that? Try to be a comedian. This is no time to be a comedian, Adam.
He was always funny. But thanks.
He was a clown. Ken says, oh, this is about something different. Oh. George Sedano just signed off with Pat Riley as a guest. Bubba the Love Sponge was grateful that you cleared up his 18 to 34 numbers last Thursday. He mentioned he's heard the rumor that Clear Channel Orlando is simulcasting your show on the FM Talker. Well, guess what? They're not. See, if they wanted to come through, if they wanted to carry the show and come through with enough bucks, we could save George's job with that money. I would turn it right over to George, or at least part of it. Enough to make up for what he's losing now, meaning his job. But no, nobody's contacted me or Norma. And if it's Norma, he probably don't return calls anyway. This is just like that Sirius bull crap. Oh, Sirius is definitely interested in Neil, and Sirius wants to do this. Yeah. Sal Biondo said you left Patrick Swayze off the death pool. I thought I blocked Sal Biondo a long time ago. I did.
I don't know.
But somehow he got through again.
Well, we added it this morning, so that must be a dated
and he's doing great. Not health-wise, but poll-wise, he's number 3. He's zoomed up there. Jason says, I was the first one who told you that Tick was the mole. That piece of garbage. All he cares about is himself. Flea, if you're listening, take a break from giving Joe Bell that reach around and listen up. I hope you... Oh, that's bad. Eat crap and die, fat boy, little bitch, says Jason for Joe Bell. Eat crap and die. Steve says it wouldn't surprise me to see Clarence replace George with Randy Shannon or our windbag. Good luck to George and good luck to the sales department selling the show in the summer, says Steve. What's your take on that?
I don't understand the question.
What's your take?
Randy Shannon?
Who's that?
That's exactly my question.
Some sports nerd. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's all they know about. Just like we did to Pineapple Face, Manuel Noriega, play nothing but Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Until management cries for you to stop and brings it back, George. George isn't gone yet. He's still here. Aren't you there? Are you there?
Let me check. Yeah.
And this is the guy that came in and shook your hand. What did I say to you? How incredulous was I that day when he came in and shook your hand to congratulate you on the book?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I say, are you schmitting me? Are you effing schmitting me?
Yeah, first I'd have to eat you.
Congratulations on the book, George. And by the way, you're fired. Disgraceful. Well, what a horrible business. This is the business we have chosen.
Yep.
Oh, Ed Till says, I actually threw my name in the hat at Real Radio. I did middays at the station from 93 to 90-something with Press Broadcasting and then Jenny Sue Rhodes and Paxson Communications. Jim Phillips and Lynn Levine are great and friends of mine, but between you and me, I'm not a big fan of Clear Channel. Tough times, my air check. And he's got an air check, a link to an air check on here, Ed Till. Go away. This is a guy that was bombarding me with air checks 100 years ago at WS News, and now he's starting again. This guy doesn't belong on the radio. He makes Stu Gott sound like Walter Cronkite. That's how bad Ed Till is. The worst. He makes the Sheik sound like Westbrook Van Voorhees. That's how bad Ed Till is. If that's from the real Ed Till. I doubt it. I think you're right. I don't think any of them from are real people at all, except Adam Kirshner.
Right.
Because we know his email address. Very jackass, just out of control today. So obviously across the street they're having a good time. Have a good time now. Wait till that Clem Cowpile gets those numbers in the midday, 10-1. You think that Sedano was bad there? Just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. That number's going to start with a... Oh! Make no mistake about that. Now maybe you can go over there and do a non-sport show. Middays. Compete with me.
Okay.
What?
Nothing. That would be funny.
I think it would be great.
I'd love afternoon somewhere. I sure missed the afternoon shifts when I was a DJ. That's
my least favorite. I hate afternoon drive.
That was my most favorite. I loved it. I did noon to 6. It was great. Can sleep in, get off in time for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, but who can afford dinner?
Not me. Well, I still got some of these restaurant certificates left over.
Oh, you want to see how fast they can cancel those? Man,
No,
your head will spin like a dreidel.
And now it's time for language lesson of the day.
Repeat after me. Esta noche estaba muy borracho y ahora estoy casado a una prostituta. Which means last night I was very drunk and now I'm married to a hooker.
Hasta Winnebago.
11:17 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you. How can we say happy on Happy Monday? Do we have that song Unhappy Day by the Edwin Schmendrick Singers? Unhappy Day. Wow. Ed Till, if you don't go, I'm going to just block him, okay? I'm not interested in your history. You suck. You suck. You absolutely, positively blow. You make me nauseous. And there went your last email, off into the etheric. Oh, here we go. Take a good shot while George is down. George really sucks every time you're out and George holds down the show. We just turned it off. He's just so annoying. And college kid juvenile, it makes my employee and I just puke. Get somebody with a radio voice instead of some college kid with the throat effects. Die, George. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, that's Joe Bell. No question about that. That's definitely from Jolly Joe Bell. Fat-ass fart face. That was down 90 points. Make it a little comeback. You know where I'm going to have to go this afternoon around 2:30?
I don't know, Woodbine?
Yeah. Plunge out my frustrations. See, I've known about this all weekend. I could have texted you or called you or something, but I don't want to do that and spoil your weekend, just like when you were on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I've known all about the email. That just because Norma is assuming that doesn't make it so. Maybe they don't want to take a chance of a nasty court battle. Do you think that's possible?
I don't know what's possible. I don't know what's being said or done.
No, I don't either. And I especially don't know what's being said by your little twerpy friend there. The one who you think... And I've been warning you. I've been telling you, man. I know these kinds of things that go on. He is in Joe Bell's pocket like a little mouse. Like a church mouse. Like a titmouse. He is the pimp. I don't know if he's the mole, but he's definitely the pimp. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't wind up cleaning up the toilets, the floors that day, when all the crap was all over the place. Mm-hmm. Maybe he had told his buddy Joe, hey, you clean it up. They're tight. You thought Joe and Fat Chris were tight. You ain't seen nothing like these two. How could they know how much money they're going to save off what they're paying you without having discussed this with Flea ahead of time? See how much he'll do it for.
I don't know.
Think about that, okay? Give me an answer, George. How is it possible?
Maybe they just presumed.
Oh, they presumed it?
Maybe Joe knows that, Lee will do whatever he's told.
Yeah, there you go.
For any amount of money.
That's right.
Or none.
That's what Freaky Carlos said. And now look what happened to him. Gone. Mark in Miami says, when you announced the recent ratings, I laughed along with George because everyone who has listened to you on QAM knows that management can't leave well enough alone. All they want is for the station to be a sports station, and they'll do whatever they can to make sure this happens. Of course, I will still listen to you, but it won't be the same. Hope George stays, and if not, he will be sorely missed. Mark in Miami is sore about it, okay? He's sore. Not just missed, but sorely missed. Like Marty McSorley. Remember him?
No.
Goon. Hockey goon. How about those Panthers? How about those playoffs? How they coming?
No.
Oh. Didn't lose any playoff games this year anyway. We love the Panthers. They shoot the puck. Oishmoy Jew says, Neil, why George? I'm sure there are more useless people in that hole that could be booted instead of George. Excellent point, Oishmoy. Why not give George his own show at night so he can prove he can hold an audience? He's already proven that. There has to be another way. Joe Bell has no ability to reinvent or even do his job if his answer to everything is to give up and blame somebody else. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. It's corporate. Just like this thing with the fart sounds and with Joyce. Oh, it's Joyce. I agree with you, but Joyce, corporate legal. Call Joe Bell's mother if he has one and tell her what a schmuck he is. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure she knew. I don't know whether she's alive or whatever. Nor do I care. By the way, happy Mother's Day in retrospect.
Oh, thank you, Mom.
To whomever, to all the mothers out there. Brandon says, what I would like to know also, what about Boca Brian? Is Flea going to get close with Boca like George is, or will Boca do the right thing and tell him to F off? Believe me, Boca won't sit back and and I've got news for you. If Flea wants to get all that tight with Boca, then he can pay him. How's that?
All right.
It's a damn good thing for Chicken Neck that I'm the one that pays most of his cash, because otherwise he'd be long gone. We'd be playing old bits. Like that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's hanging out again. Dow's down 104. U.S. soldier opens fire at Baghdad base. He killed 4 other soldiers and then killed himself.
Nice.
Oh, no, wait a minute. This is a different story. Gunman in custody, condition unclear. I don't understand. This is a different one? We just had this story earlier this morning about another U.S. soldier who killed 4 other kids and then killed himself. U.S. soldier opens fire at Baghdad base. Defense officials say civilians could be among the victims.
He was a patient, whether he just walked.
Oh, there's that guy with the cheeks again. I don't know what his name is, but he's got chipmunk cheeks.
Okay.
That's where he stores the nuts.
Okay.
Well, maybe he does some teabagging in his spare time. I don't know. On the receiving end. 587 on the poll. Who is the next big celebrity to die? Who's going to be screaming,
I'm dying over here.
Or whispering it? Farrah Fawcett, 286. She's winning hands down. Poor Farrah. Mickey Rooney, 73. He could be over 200. Patrick Swayze, 64. He's got Surus. Don Imus, 41. The knobber is out there again. He's knobbing it.
Great.
The Queen Elizabeth II, 33. John Madden, 22. Neil Rogers, 22. I'm tied with John Madden. Big, fat John Madden. Liz Taylor, 10. Joan Rivers, 10. Mo Howard David at 9. Lindsay Lohan, 7. Donald Trump, 5. And Don Shula, the brainstem, 5. The Shoesmeister. Is that Neil Rogers still on the air? He's a funny guy. Brainstem. Don't be disrespectful to Mr. Shula now. South Florida will take great umbrage to that, and Danny Boy will come up there and kick your ass. I'll tell you one thing about Danny Boy. For a guy who is... he's very articulate compared to a lot of the other jocks that they got on the air. But he's marginally articulate, generally speaking, Danny Boy. But he has just... He's on everywhere. He's got that putrid system thing going. He's on spots that haven't been... for businesses that hadn't even started yet. Danny Boy. Don't you see him all the time?
All the time.
Oh, Danny Boy. Mike in Kendall says... And Mike says he's a long-time fan of the show and George. Past and future. He says, this is so effing tragic. I have so many emotions I don't know where to begin. Lee is a good guy. I even email back and forth with him from time to time, but he's not George. George has been with you for a million years, almost 20. And now because of the crappy economy, Joe Bell and the Beasleys figure they can finally blow him out. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, says Mike. Every Monday you start the show with a Monday sucks. Well, that's an understatement today. I'm pissed off and fired up, says Mike and Kendall. How do you like that, Jolly Joe? Mike and Kendall is really PO'd. Foaming at the mouth. Probably dropping big bombs on the floor wherever the hell he is. I know I've dropped some today. Oh. Man, just call me the Wild Bomber. The Mad Joycer.
Suck it in and hold it.
And now, great moments in history.
May 4th, 1494. Christopher Columbus discovers the island of Jamaica.
Welcome to Jamaica, man. Please accept this green plant as a gift. We don't know what it does, but when you burn it, it makes you laugh a lot and eat everything. We just hope we don't get known for this stuff.
This is great, thank you. We have something for you, my Indian friends. These beautiful handcrafted bracelets. Just lock them in place around your ankles and hands.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
And that's your gift. It's called slavery. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, yeah, and we brought some smallpox, too.
Ooh, that sounds Irene, man.
This has been Great Moments in History.
11:31. I wonder if there's such a thing as big pox.
Good question.
Dow is down 110. Henry says, if George goes, I go. I've been a long-time listener, well over 20 years, but without George, you are high and dry. You've been out of new material for quite a while. And George is the only breath of fresh air you have. How do you like that? I'm out of new material.
Damn.
If your longtime agent, Norm can't write a contract to conform with your needs, why didn't you show your sincerity by firing him? WQAM has only one other so-called star, Jim Mandich, who's little more than a tired rerun of his old sayings and gags and is boring. Henry must be right across the street, real close by. How much longer do you, a tired-out, bitchy gay from Toronto, think you can hold any audience now that Joe Bell is dictating the content and conduct of your show? Oh, I don't know. Gee, it looked like we're in real trouble in the last rating, didn't it? Not. The only casualty is George, as you've made your bucks if you never work another lick. Yeah, right. If I had all the money I needed, you think I'd be sitting here right now, working for these grave-robbing bastards? No. Here's Henry, who's an expert, a real schmuck. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Get a life, Henry. Go tell somebody else how to do their thing. Tom from the Hood says, listener for 30 years since the early 80s. Early 80s, 82 and 27 is 09. Well, anyway, about 30 years. About 30.
Absolutely.
About 30, man.
George and you work well together. You both feed off each other, what makes the show great. After they tied your hand with censorship, I almost stopped listening. George has become so good at queuing in things and feeding you information. It works. Why don't they realize that George can beat any other host on that station besides you if he had his own show? Some other station in this market is going to grab him, says Tom from the Hood. They're going to grab you, George.
All right. Here it is.
Yeah. JP says, I just tuned in. What's happening with George? Well, we don't know. We fear he's on the way out. We fear he's getting stabbed. Jeff and Davey, however, says if George is getting fired, he is SOL because he sucks on his own. Can't stand listening when you're away. And who's that ass clown he has on there with him? Love you, Neil, says Jeff and Davey.
That's my replacement.
Guess what, Jeff and Davey, is another expert. Guess what? The so-called ass clown is the guy that they're going to replace him with, Flea. They're all experts, these people. They're all programmers. We've known that for a long time.
Sure.
They're all amateur program directors. They're all experts on what should be on the air and who should be on the air and who sucks and who doesn't suck. DP says, what happened to loyalty? Here's a guy who covers your back for 18 years, and all I hear is you'll bounce back. I would expect more. Maybe now's the time for I'm pissed off and I'm not going to take it. Or maybe you should make sure your check is in the mail this week. Well, guess what? My check showed up 3 days early. What about those bonus checks, George? I didn't get mine yet.
No.
No what?
Your contract says you have to be paid within 10 days, right?
Right.
Mine says I have to be paid within 60.
Well, where's mine? Where's my check? Where's my bonus check, fat-ass Jolly Joe? Not only are you just destroying me with this stress and the way you're manhandling poor little George, but also where the hell's my bonus check? So the paycheck showed up 3 days early. They'll say, you ungrateful fag, you know. That's fine, but where's that other check? And remember, he was saying, I'll be more. When the numbers first came out, we didn't know the hourlies. Remember that email I got from him? Congratulations. Yeah. Can't wait to sign your bonus check. Of course, he doesn't sign the paychecks. But don't confuse him with the facts. I hope somebody signed it, and it better be in the mail now. Now. I don't want them to be breaching my contract. That would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bill says, Flea got Rowley fired, now George. If only he worked at the White House about 8 years ago, we might all be rich today. Who's Roley?
The other promotions guy.
Flea got him canned?
That's what this guy says.
Must be somebody who knows. Somebody on the inside. Bill Olson, Miami Hurricanes 1 at yahoo.com. I wonder if he knows Johnny Olson or Mrs. Olson or Jimmy Olson. Jimmy?
Gay.
Oh. Brandon says, don't they know you and George are a package and have been for an eternity? That would be like Sirius taking Robin away from Howard. I wonder what the ratings will be like this summer with Flea and or tapes. There won't be any tapes, let me tell you that right now, Brandon. No tapes over my dead body.
How do you know that?
I don't. I'm just making sounds with my mouth. Knowing them, they'll put on anything that doesn't make any sense. Plus, you know it's going to be Flea and the Beast, Flea in this one, Flea in that one. You know that.
I don't know anything.
Even though he doesn't know anything about it. Maybe Norma's just making all this up.
Right.
But then again, you got that great agent that you and Chickeneck found. The one that talks about taking 14 points and giving away 82 points and what's the point? Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He didn't even know the names of the call letters of the stations, much less really know anything about radio. He's like 10 steps below James Crystal Radio. Now, there you go. James Crystal Radio, man. You could follow up Mifo on 640.
Yeah. What time's he on?
6 to 10.
I'd still rather have afternoons.
You could do middays now that I'm fresh out of material, and I have been for years.
Still rather do afternoons.
Like I said, you could do afternoons on any of their stations.
Not that I'm in a position to be picky.
I mean, you certainly can do better than a point like that.
Yeah, I think probably.
And I'd plug the hell out of your show, too. I'd promote it.
Oh, right back at you.
Oh, here's the fake Greg Budell. Oh, my God. Oh. Jeremy Coleman and Tim Sabian are still willing to talk if Norm would just contact them. No, they're not. They have no interest. They got no money. Fake Greg. Jay Clark, Harry Valentine, and Walter Sabo are fans of yours as well. Yeah, Harry Penis Valentine, right.
He and I got along great.
Jay was PD at WTKS and WABC. Harry and Walter said they worked with you at WIOD.
Mm-hmm.
Jay and Harry said the Clear Channel has run the real radio station into the ground. You'd be lucky to get 50 grand syndication from them. They paid Shannon Burke $185 grand a year. Tim has a spot for you on Sirius 101 if you're interested in simulcasting the show on Sirius XM. They would pay more than Clear Channel. Well, you know, you can keep sending me all the fake emails you want, but the fact is nobody's talking. Oh, here you go. Greg Budell just got off the phone with Joe. I'm packing up the U-Haul today. I'll be there Wednesday. Looks like I'll play second fiddle until you're gone soon. Please remind Joe to order me a new chair. God knows how many beaner farts George has blasted into the old one. Gregory Benjamin Bedell. P.S. Tell South Florida to get ready for a real radio talent. Yeah, one that failed in this market over and over and over again. Here's one from Holy Gorilla Isaac. Neil, I can't understand how this is not a breach of contract. Please get yourself another agent, lawyer, whatever. Norma's supposed to be. He obviously is in on the fix. George, they say you don't know what you got till it's gone, and today I appreciate you more than ever. I'll make a sacrifice to Neil God, hoping that it'll help. Good luck, buddy, says Isaac. He's making a subhuman sacrifice.
I hope it's a goat.
Maybe he's going to fry Norma Kent on a stick. Talk about a lot of fat. Driven.
If you blow too much, you're in trouble.
We're gonna get married. Way too gay. I wish her name was Larry. Clarence, you're too squishy and your thing's too short. I wanna be accepted in the world of sports. You may think it's kind of funny for me to have some hetero fun. This girl has a lot of money, but now you don't think I'm so dumb. I can play it like the Hitchcock mystery, with poison shampoo in her hair, and to collect double indemnity, I'll push the bitch down the stairs. Clarence, you're too gay. Too late, I'm already married. Way too gay. Going south is scary. Clarence, you're too squishy and your thing's too short. It's the right great thing to do to fake my way through sports.
No, it's 11:44. What did I say, 10? Oh, my God.
Ooh.
That would be really, really bad. Even 11 is not so great. 11:44, 16 till noon at 560. WQAM, they got the new morning show across the street this morning. Jorge Sedano and whatever her name was.
Crystal Fernandez.
What?
Fernandez, I hear.
Crystal Schwartz. And evidently must have made a hell of an impact. I haven't had one email about that show. Nothing. Not one spy report. Zero. As in what their number's going to be.
Oh!
Like that. Starting with that and ending with like that. Ray L. said, he finally stopped with the polls already, okay? And what happened with the damn swine flu? Notice they're not hyperventilating. There's a whole lot more cases, but they're not hyperventilating and people aren't dropping like flies.
Yeah, it wasn't getting good ratings. It wasn't tracking well. So they had to change the subject.
Track this. And yesterday, what's that awful show? I can't stand that guy. Marvin Kalb, or is it the other Kalb? I can't think of which one it is. Anyway, he does that awful show about analyzing the media every Sunday.
Okay.
And they're telling about how 2 weeks ago they talked about the fact the media was overreacting and blowing this thing up and getting everybody into a panic. Well, did you have to be a genius to figure that out? No. Something sort responsible sources, irresponsible sources. That's what it's called. Oh, it's all about Wolf Blitzkrieg. Ray says, "Tell George I know what he's going through and it sucks. I work for a big company and what are we going to do about this DSL line? Am I not going to hear any more about that?"
I don't know.
The guys from the phone company came back here again Thursday, 2 different guys, and they worked feverishly. And with my help, they stuck the thing, under the carpet. And around the corner and through the wall and up to Grandma's house, and they got the wiring all set for the new ISDN line. But now I have no idea if and when the other guy's going to come back and install it. I mean, and I know I'm nitpicking again, just being a pain in the ass. Tell George I know what he's going through and it sucks. I work for a big company, and every indication is that at the end of this month they will be closing our store. Does anybody here tell us anything? Hell no. Will we have jobs elsewhere? Will we lose our health insurance? Will we get any severance pay? Nobody knows nothing. The heartless bastards who run these companies have absolutely no regard, spelled really badly, R-E-G-U-A-R-D, regard, for the people who show up for them every single day and inflate their bank accounts. I don't think George will have a very difficult time finding another job if this actually happens, but it sucks just the same. George, keep your chin up, and I'll see you in the unemployment line, says Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Well, good luck to us, Ray. Are the nuns bowling again? It's sunny sky. It's not supposed to rain today. I thought I just heard... I don't even have the window cracked, and I should. You could make an omelet right on your wrist. That's how hot it is in here. Don't they have the AC on yet? No. That should be my biggest problem. Cuban George says, love the way that all these ass clowns who listen to the show religiously, who live and die by the damn show, and every word, write into bitch so they can hear their name on the radio. Tell them to go F themselves. Why do all my black friends hate gays? They're Democrats, yet they tell me they vote anti-gay rights. This really disturbs me. I would get new friends, but they might kick my ass. Cute. P.S. Don't forget to mention my name so I can hear it on the radio, Cuban George. Oh, he's almost as funny as Jolly Joe. Ho, 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 ho. Comes in here and shakes your hand, congratulates you on the numbers. I would have kicked him in the nuts. I would have taken that baseball bat you got in there, whatever you got. You got that machete still in there?
No, I threw that away.
You threw it away?
It didn't really work. It was only a prop.
How do you know? Did you try it?
Are you kidding me? I know my knives.
Do you?
Yeah, I have a collection.
Well, good. Bring some in when next time you see Jolly Joe before he sits you down. Hey, Joe, I got something for you. Jason says it's unfortunate that your loyalty to an incompetent agent is leading to George's demise. How do you like that? It's my fault now that you're getting canned.
Well, he has a point about the incompetent agent part.
Oh! Unless Joe Bell schedules the Mad Dog for 8 hours during the summer while you're off, it'll be WQAM's demise. Struggling advertisers will soon realize that while they like sponsoring sports programming, they can no longer do so in this economic environment when the programming they sponsor is not reaching their customers. While George is not a jock, a Jew, or a sports geek, he is a unique talent who is dialed into the local pulse and all of us working schlubs. This termination, however, could be the kick in the butt George needs to finally hire a good agent and get the Spick and Sud show off the ground. I just hope another station in the market will decide to go local again and put his show on the air, says Jason. Well, thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
Spick and Suds, what do you think?
Sure.
Will he come out of retirement?
Yeah, I'm going to force him to
One
quit
good thing
smoking.
about working with him, though, Rick Riley's got him paper trained. He'll work real cheap.
He already
in other words, if you made a deal for like $100,000 a year with some station, you can take like 90 and he'll work for 10.
He'll work for food when he comes in on Friday.
That's right, for the free meals. And I bet you if we got on another station, they'd let you eat on the air.
Oh.
Get all the free food you wanted.
Wow.
That's just another aspect of this whole operation.
Yeah.
Screw the talent.
If I get on another station, I'm going to say some things that we can't say.
Like what?
Like words that end in bag.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Doochie?
Yeah, like that.
Scoomy?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo?
Absolutely.
What's that Rob Marciano doing on? Where's that hot guy with the speech defect that they had on earlier, that student? And what the hell was he all about? What was that segment all about? They had him on there a very long time. They must have known I was watching. What? He was cute. Who's the next big celebrity to die? 621 votes. Farrah's Fawcett, 295, almost half. Mickey Rooney, 76. Patrick Swayze, 75. 75, 76, but nobody yet's got 77. But next vote for Mickey Rooney will be 77. He must be 80-something. Want to Google it? Don't overwork now.
I'm good. I'm right. I'm still here.
No, I know you're still there, but I'm just telling you, if you want to really lay out, don't feel bad about it.
No, it's all right.
Don Imus, 41. Queen Elizabeth II, 33, for the Queen, for Her Majesty.
He was born in 1920.
89, Mickey Rooney. John Madden, 24. Neil Rogers, 24. I can't separate myself from that big fat John Madden. Liz Taylor, 14. Mo Howard David at 12. Joan Rivers, 10. Lindsay Lohan, 7. Donald Trump, 5. And Don Shula, the brainstem, still got 5 out of 622 votes. That's a lot of votes on this poll, I think. Could be wrong. Not as many as they get across the street. The only problem is they get votes on the polls because people vote 10, 20 times on the poll, but they don't get any numbers because nobody's listening. That's the problem you got over there, Howard Davis. You got a big mouth, but no audience. And you got Barry Jackass, who's your pimp. Barry Jackass is to the ticket what Flea is to Joe Bell, the pimp, the mole. Remember Greg Reed he had the water Nazi running around the hall trying to find the mole?
Yeah.
Who's talking to Barry? I'm going to find the mole. Remember that?
Yep.
What a place. Mystery, intrigue, backstabbing, front stabbing, side stabbing. Baron Fitz says, if firing George is about saving money, I have a better solution. I will do Joe Bell's job for half what he gets paid. I know nothing about radio and will definitely screw everything up. In other words, I'm perfectly qualified for QAM. The only quality I'm lacking in is I'm not a fat-ass loser. I can work on that, though, says Baron Fitz. Cute. Not cute, but cutesy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that we've been on for 2 hours talking about all of this, and the audience is whipped up into a marginal, mild frenzy, and yet nobody in there during the breaks has come into you and said, oh, don't worry, everything's fine, or, you're going to, tomorrow's your last day, or something, something.
Nope.
You haven't seen Flea again? He hasn't come in and cried?
No. I saw him in the hall.
And?
He said, I had nothing to do with that.
We don't believe you. It's already been told to Norma that he's your replacement. Now, how's that possible unless somebody's talked to him about it?
I don't know.
The fake Doug says, Neil, I told you George is going to show up across the street in the morning. Oh, yeah, sure.
Wrong George.
George, I got the pictures of Joe Bell and Chris rolling around at the beach at the Pompano Beach Seafood Festival. Get me an address. I'll send them to you to post on the Internet. Nick Lawrence says he'll put you on. Give him a call. He's waiting.
Oh.
Yeah. Just what you need to get involved with them. Oh, my God. George says El Paso. He'd rather go around picking food out of dumpsters.
Right. I'll return bottles for deposit.
Right. Rather than go over there with that bunch of non-existent losers. Oh, my God. Talk about contrived crap.
I don't consider that staying in radio.
How about this?
This is not.
Oh.
Hasn't been for a while.
Ralph says, PR Ralph, who just can't stop. George could do the show that Father Cutier was let go from. He could do a good Christian show. There you go. We'll worship Christ for food. Sounds like a plan. Like I said, PR Ralph, keep them coming. Here's a poem. Ed from Fort Lauderdale says, from one old fart to another, please forward to Joyce. A sweet poem. It's about farts. A fart is a pleasant thing. It gives the belly ease. It warms the bed in winter and suffocates the fleas. A fart can be quiet. A fart can be loud. Some leave a powerful, poisonous cloud. A fart can be short or a fart can be long. Some farts have been known to sound like a song. A fart can create a most curious medley. A fart can be harmless or silent and deadly. A fart might not smell while others are vile. A fart may pass quickly or linger a while. A fart can occur in a number of places and leave everyone there with strange looks on their faces. From wide-open prairie to small elevators, a fart will find all of us sooner or later. But farts are all bad. It's simply not true. We must never forget sweet old farts like you. Isn't that cute?
Yeah, cute.
Cutesy. It's got like a little picture,
of a fart?
No, yeah, two old farts, a he and a she. Like a Sunrise Lakes couple, you know. He's got the sunglasses on, and they both got big poopics hanging out. It's cute. It says, why not send this on to other old farts and bring a smile or tear to them? Yeah, there's nothing like being an old fart. Trust me.
This is the business we've chosen.
This is Coach Don Schuler, and I sound like Bob Hope on acid. And I want to tell you, it's the 12 to 1 hour, or whatever it is.
Sister Jean, the dancing machine, a swinging nun with happy feet, jump and jive to the beat. Sister Jean, the dancing machine, Sister Jean is making a scene. That ain't Catholic doctorine for a gal who ain't too lean. She can shake that pasty meat.
She's quite a sight of black and white, looking like a real cool dancing fool. Look at her go, swinging high and low with her boyfriend Father O'Toole.
Sister Jean, the dancing machine, dancing ain't her only thing. She'll knock you off your feet when you hear her wail and sing.
I got a bad habit of jumping like a rabbit when the music turns me on. I know it sounds happy, but I'm so bad. Human kid is gone.
Sister Jean, a swinging nun, a shaking, bouncing ton of fun. That ain't bad for 85. Man, that nun can really fly. Sister Jean, the dancing machine. 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 Sister Jean, the dancing machine.
Well, today is her 80th birthday, Sister Jean. Somebody emailed me, Mark in Miami.
Happy birthday, Jean.
Or not, as the case may be. Sister Jean, the dancing machine. I wonder if she's a good machine, man. I bet you Janet Reno would know. She's still alive, by the way, Janet?
As far as we know.
Oh, the stuff that's coming in. Everybody and their brother. Oh, well, you expect us to really believe this and you're out of material and that's why you're talking this crap today? I mean, I'm just so sick of that garbage. Here's one from a stockbroker Rick. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Neil, I was a journalist in the film with Mickey Rooney in Miami called Michael Cale and the World News, 1998. He's a real horse jockey. Those big companies like to sabotage fellow workers, promoted backstabbing. That's all I have today. What does that mean?
I wish I knew.
They're always background acting George. Well, what does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't either. He was a real horse jockey, Mickey Rooney. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Trevor says, I'm surprised you've allowed... Here we go. I'm surprised you have allowed the situation of George being possibly terminated to occur. George is a significant part of your show and should have been incorporated into your contract. Since you didn't consider George at contract time, it's time to step up and tell management that if George goes, you go. You don't need the cash anyway. Oh, that's news to me. This is a matter of principle. No one can maintain the numbers in the summer like George. It's time to stop being a wussy and grow a pair. P.S. Flea sucks. If George goes, I go. That's right. We can just hang out on the beach together and fry. Get a good melanoma.
All right, I'll bring the spray-on sunblock because I don't want to have to, touch your back.
The fake Greg Budell, I'm just going to block him. I'm just tired of his crap. Every time we got some tourists on this show, there's the fake Greg Budell again, or maybe the real one. Could be the real one. He's so pathetic, tragic. Get a life, Greg.
No.
I have no life.
I know that. And by the way, everybody still hates you like poison. Those who remember who the hell you are, which aren't too many. It's a great time for the good taste. It's a good time, or whatever the hell I was. Yeah, Don Agony. I mean, this guy's idea of a morning show, I don't even want to go into it again. Mikey says, I don't usually write in, only once or twice, but I feel compelled at this time. I seriously hope this is just a publicity thing to gauge the public opinion regarding George. Oh.
It doesn't matter how you say it, how loud, in which language, or how many times.
Many here at work enjoy the Neil Rogers Show with George filling in whenever he's asked. We feel it would be a big mistake to dismiss him on the basis of cost savings. The station has much more to lose by getting rid of him. There's a strong consensus here that George is a key player in the show. He keeps the show funny and flowing. Something else, who's going to fill in while you're on vacation? I can promise you, not as some kind of threat, just fact, you will lose listeners. I, for one, will not listen to some sports hole, and once I stop listening, I may not come back. I'll just get used to something else. I do get free internet radio on my phone. Podcasts are a great way to pass the time. George connects with his listeners much the same way you do. You each have your own unique style, but are both highly entertaining. I'll keep listening for the moment. Just tell Jolly Joe not to rock the boat, Mikey. I'll keep listening for the moment. You notice all the threats?
Yeah.
Are you threatening me?
Yeah. As opposed to being supportive in some way or saying something constructive. Well, if you do this, if they do that, we're gone, and you're out of material, old man, yada, yada, yada. Now, why is someone sending me a picture of Don Sweeney, the ex-Bruins hockey player? Yeah, he looked good, and what about it? The only acceptable replacement. Is it true George got fired? Although he is terminal on the radio, he will be missed. Keep it up and go Rangers, says some idiot. Rangers, yeah. Screw you. Neil, I'm sending this email from my hospital bed. I just got off the phone with my lawyer. He said we have a good case. Last Friday morning at 10:36 a.m., I was in a car accident. I was listening to WQAM waiting for you to come on, and suddenly, the moment I heard some guy named Bo, immediately I fell into a coma. Obviously, Bo is short for boring. Before I went into my coma and crashed, I think he was all giddy talking about a football, beer, and some shark owner who sings badly. What's going on there? The inmates are running the asylum. Send them a message, Neil, like Joey Zaza. Should I sue WQAM? Do you know a good lawyer? Love you. Love what is left of the group, says Paul. Do I know a good lawyer? If I did, I'd hire him. Oh, wait till you hear all this crap. You won't believe it. Well, you will. Subject, you. Who's this from? Oh, this is from nobody. I remember when you were working on the new contract and George and Boca were supposedly working on their own deals. Then suddenly your deal was done. Theirs, not so much. And now, sadly, the chickens have come home to roost. You can blame Flea, Joe Bell, or your fake attorney, but the responsibility is yours. Yours alone. Norma represents you. Not well, but he's your surrogate, your advocate. Yeah, I bet he still reads The Advocate. If he isn't representing you effectively and you continue having him do so, who's to blame? You knew Norma was incompetent, but you still let him negotiate and write the contract. So now, a big surprise that it's fallen apart? George and Boca have had no clout without you. Joe Bell divided and conquered. He may be a putz, but who could blame him? It's not as if there's a shortage of attorneys, so what's the problem? A real attorney not only wouldn't have let this happen, but even if he did, he'd slap an injunction on these clowns right now to prevent George's termination. You're in Toronto, a big city. Find an entertainment lawyer today who has a U.S. affiliate. It's not too late if you want to take responsibility. It's only a real radio show, but real lives are involved. Blame Joe, Norm, Flea, Boca, anyone you like, but who has the real clout? Who has the real responsibility? Time to butch up. Yeah, that's right. It's my fault. Sorry, George.
Hey, whatever.
Rudy says, since you've been in the radio business for a long time, do you have any contacts who can help George out to land a new job? If not, I'll see George working with a homeless voice. George, I will miss you, says Rudy. I'll buy George the orange T-shirt or whatever color is going that week.
They rotate.
I'll buy a mix and match.
Thanks.
Assorted package. Here's one. This is great. Subject, out of material apparently. I wish you'd stop this charade about George getting fired. We all know that that's not going to happen. And it's shameless you would make up this story due to lack of material. Come on, Neil, you can do better than that, as once was said. Quit the crap and get back to attempting to do your show again. Cheers, a tired listener. Cheers. Yeah, cheers my ass. Everything is shtick. Everything we make up. Like all the most stuff. We made that all up. Right?
That's right.
Now we get to the really good stuff. Well, some of it. Oh, here's one from the fake Joe Bell. Tell George to report to my office by the end of the show. Remember, this is the business we've chosen. From the fake Joe Bell. Really hysterical, right?
Yeah.
Here's one from Linda Bird, Regional Vice President, Clear Channel, Central Florida. Norm, have you contacted Clear Channel Orlando? This is a way to save George's job. Perry Michael Simon has been calling looking for comments. Well, what does that mean, looking for comments?
I don't know.
And why would somebody from Clear Channel be sending me a copy of an email that they sent to Norm, and it's from the Phantom Informer? Subject, Ray WTKS contact. Oh, will you people stop already with the nonsense. If it isn't Gregory Benjamin Budell, it's the Phantom Informer, it's this fake one and that fake one. Good God. Tons of crap. Real crap. Oh, I never read the result from your poll from the weekend, Friday.
Okay.
713 votes. Well, it's stuck in the middle of my pile of crap. What are you doing for your mother for Mother's Day? Well, not too much. Mom's still dead. We should have had that on there. You should have.
Well, that counts as nothing.
So that's what I voted, nothing. 160 voted for nothing. That won the poll. Heartless bastards. Some of the above, 134, calling her 75. Hey, Ma. She ain't answering. Visiting her grave, 68. Giving her a present, 58. Getting her a card, 45. Taking her out to dinner, 44. Making her dinner, 42. Maybe I'll take Mom to the Sterling Country Kitchen, and maybe Gregory Benjamin Budell is still waiting tables there. Poorly.
Or maybe I'll be.
Well, there you go. Taking her off life support, 31. Visiting her.
About 30, man.
Punching her in the face, 23. And breakfast in bed, 3. Punching her in the face, what kind of a answer is that for a poll like that for Mother's Day?
Well, some people might want to.
Oh, so in other words, you voted 23 times?
No.
Yep.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Absolutely.
We'll be coming down Fifth Avenue upon St. Patty's Day. A great day for the Irish all across the USA. But begorra, what is this I hear? This crying ballyhoo. There's a bunch of queers again this year who say that Irish too. Oh, God loves the Irish, unless of course you're gay. If you are, you won't be marching upon St. Patty's Day. You can be a bum, a bucket of scum, sure, and that's okay, but you can't be Irish if you're gay. Now the order of Hibernians, those eminences grey, have delivered this pronouncement upon the blessed day. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell and nestled in the sea. But you're going straight to hell for homosexuality. Oh, God loves the Irish as long as men are men. Except perhaps the leprechauns, we've never been sure of them. You can be stinking drunk and hurling chunks, we'll laugh it all away. But you can't be Irish if you're gay. No, you can't be Irish if you're gay. Don't even try being Irish if you're gay.
Gay. Gay. 1217. Gay. At 560 WQAM. So here's one from the real Tom Jick. How do you like that?
Really?
Well, I know because he's got the code word in there. It says, Neil, just so you don't hear this from a fake Tom Jick, I just posted this on our website. It's at the top of the entertainment menu. Question, I love Neil Rogers. Last week I heard him talking about the station attempting to get rid of Jorge Rodriguez. Is this for real or just part of Neil's shtick? Neil has enough power. I doubt they can get rid of George unless Neil agreed to it. Signed, J.Y. Answer from Tom. This is not shtick. WQAM is shedding employees faster than the newspaper business. George makes more than most producers because he does a lot more, including filling in for Neil more than 60 days a year. The urgency is probably tied to two factors, saving money and having George gone before Neil's upcoming long summer sabbatical. WQAM has long felt old tapes of old Neil shows would be preferable to live George, an option Neil has steadfastly resisted. There's a clause in Neil's contract that gives him the right to choose his producer, George, but there are few contracts that a creative team of lawyers can't get around. This could be a backdoor attempt to get Neil to quit, but I doubt that will happen. No one as smart as Neil is making that kind of money he does, walks out in a snit. That's right, Tom. Excellent email. How do you like that?
Yeah.
Well, he's got his thumb on it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should walk out, Neil. You should say, if he goes, I go. I'm not doing that. As much as I love George and appreciate everything he does for the show, and I don't want him to go, and I've been herniatically on the phone with Norma and screaming and yelling and shouting and emailing back and forth and carrying on, I'm doing as much as I can. And how am I going to help George by being out on the beach? How is that going to help anybody?
It won't.
I guess the mentality there is misery loves company.
Yeah.
And then again, when you're dealing with a company like this that's got a corporate bitch lawyer named Joyce, they'll go to the wall to do whatever the hell they want. Brian says, sorry to hear what QM is doing to George. I enjoy him on your show. He's been loyal. I called George last week. Would love to hear you on Real Radio in Orlando. There we go with that crap again. Believe me, you have lots of listeners in Central Florida. You'd have a living and breathing audience on FM. If WQM fires George, could you walk out on the basis of breach of contract? I'm not walking out. Don't you understand? Let me say it again. I'm not walking out. Wouldn't surprise me if Joe Bell is behind a lot of these things about Real Radio and that. I've told you this for a long time. I think this whole deal is to try to get me to take a walk.
Yeah.
The only place I'm walking is like to take a leak in the tea room. That's it. I walked to my machines at Woodbine today, and that's it. I'm not taking a walk. And as far as breach of contract, hey, Norma.
You fairy.
Useless. Absolutely useless. Every deal with him always ends up the same way. On the losing end. Jim says, I'm really surprised that George wasn't escorted from the building. Just shows how much of a D-bag Joe Bell really is. He can't even fire somebody the proper way. Yeah, they should have. Well, they haven't fired George yet.
Right.
Not to his face.
No.
And if it wasn't for me opening up a big mouth, you'd be sitting there like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Doing the limbo rock.
And,
Doing the limbo rock. No, I haven't.
Right, that's right, doing the Rush Limbo rock.
I haven't been cocky in a long time.
Me either. Oh, Dow's down 111. Stewart says George leaving would truly be the end. At least he does something resembling a show instead of just reading fake emails. Yeah, that's a good point. George does a real show when he's on. I just read fake emails. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. And what was Flea saying about how he's going to put an end to that or something? Some crap.
He said he met somebody who knows them, or at least one of them, and we're going to get their names and address so that we can do things on our own. He didn't say he was going to do anything.
Well, how are you going to do something on your own when you're getting canned?
Well, I guess I won't have to do anything now, will I?
I don't know. Maybe you can sit around at home and exchange phone calls with them all day.
Oh, yeah, there you go. They can have my cell phone number.
Right, there you go. I'm your friend. I'm your friend. Hi, Ron.
George is gay.
And that. You in this Flea business, I just don't know.
Well, I'm a gullible old fool, and I take people at their word, and he says he didn't know anything about it, and no one has discussed anything with him like money or anything like that, and so...
Really?
Yeah.
How's that possible? Of course, he's gonna cover his own ass, because in these impossible times, that's what everybody's doing now.
Right.
If they're smart, they got to cover their own ass. Am I right?
Right.
Hollywood writer John Furia Jr. dies at 79. He won't be covering his ass anymore. Maybe with a blanket. A writer for Bonanza, Hawaii 5, and the Waltons and lots more. He was also a USC professor. Prolific screen and TV writer John Furia Jr., who penned many popular series, including the ones I just mentioned, has died, according to a statement from the Writers Guild of America West. He was 79. The exact cause or time of his death couldn't be immediately determined. He just died, sometime. Whatever that means. John's character and dignity touched and influenced generations of writers, from the founders of the Guild itself to the newest of student associates, said Writers Guild of America West President Patrick Veropny in a statement. Veropny. For those of us who relied on his knowledge and his counsel, John was more than an eminence grise. He was pure eminence. Eminence grise, G-R-I-S-E. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Eminence grise. I remember Bob Grease. He wrote for Dr. Kildare, The Twilight Zone, Bob Hope Presents the Chrysler Theater, The Waltons, Kung Fu, as well as wrote or produced numerous movies of the week. Furious screen credits include The Singing Nun. Oh, jeez. I was feeling sorry there for a second or two, but The Singing Nun with Debbie Reynolds and Greer Garson, oh, boy. Over the course of his career, he received many awards for his contributions on behalf of writers in the entertainment industry. He's survived by his wife, Mary, and 7 children. He was a prolific writer and a prolific screwer, evidently, too. Sirius XM sticks it to subscribers. How do you like that? By Steve Guttenberg. How's the Sirius XM satellite radio monopoly working out for subscribers? Question mark. Not so well. Now that Sirius XM is the only game in town, it's nudging up fees for subscribers. Nice, it says. The one and only satellite radio company's boast of its ever-increasing subscriber base are gone, and the decline is significant. The number floating around the internet is a loss of 400,000 subscribers. Still leaves 18.6 million, but there's no way of knowing how many of that number are full paying subscribers. Could the subscriber losses be attributed to recent price hikes? The family plan package went from $6.99 to $8.99 a month, and there's a monthly $2.99 fee to receive Sirius XM stations over the internet. The service previously was free. Back in March of last year, I asked who was going to pay for the merger, and now we know we've lost favorite channels and pay more for the service. So please explain why the merger was such a swell idea. What about Howard Stern, his megabucks contract nearing its end? Can Sirius XM hang on, the former terrestrial radio god, now that he's faded into near oblivion? Hunkered down in the satellite radio, Stern's visibility ain't what it used to be. But if the 2 million Stern fans paid an extra $2 a month for the privilege of hearing his semi-daily genius, would that help Sirius XM show its first ever profit? Over the past year or so, Sirius's signal quality has worsened. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yep.
Again, the post-merger performance woes are widespread. My Sirius signals have improved somewhat the last 2 months, but I still experience signal dropouts lasting a few seconds several times a day, says Steve. Sirius XM sticks it to subscribers. Doesn't sound too promising, does it?
No.
Everybody's getting canned. Everybody's out of work. Everybody's out of money. Everybody's out of business. I think people are going to start, they're shooting each other, you know? Do you think that's a plan?
Sure.
If I were you, I'd have a list. Now, it's almost 12:30, and you're going to tell me that after 2.5 hours of this show today, nobody in that building has come in there and spoken one word to you about this pending disaster.
No. Hey, Clarence, am I fired yet?
Is he there?
No. Yeah, he's
Is he there? Is he in there?
Yeah.
When are we getting the ISDN finished? Better let them know they finished the wiring here so that they can put the ISDN on Thursday. They finished it last week, but we got no arrangements yet. Don't screw up all our arrangements, okay?
Hi, this is Larry King, and they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
You watch him every night on CNN.
Welcome, everybody, to Larry King Live.
That's right, he's Larry King. And now, America's most famous cable news host with a pacemaker has cut a new CD entitled Larry King Sings Bob Marley.
We're jamming. I want to jam it with you. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hello.
You'll dig this legendary newsman's interpretations of an even more legendary songwriter.
Chicka-boom, chicka-boom. He shot the sheriff. That's why he'll be my guest right after these words from Garlic. It's magnifique.
Larry King sings Bob Marley, only as Larry King can.
One love. One heart. Let's forget the fact that I've had 15 bypass operations.
Get Larry King Sings Bob Marley today. To order your copy, send $3 million to cover the cost of his child support payments to Larry King Live, care of CNN.
No woman, no cry. The alimony check's in the mail, honey. Stop your griping. No woman, no cry. Hey, guys, slow down a
this.
1232 at 560 WQAM. You know what I think? Now, what did Clarence tell you?
About what?
About your future.
He said, I said, am I fired yet? And he said, no.
And that was it?
That was it. He came in to get a plastic fork.
A plastic fork for what?
I assumed for eating, the plastic forks that I buy.
So in other words, he's eating food probably free right now, and you're sitting in there waiting to get canned?
Plastic forks that I buy so that everyone can come in here and get a fork whenever they need one when we get the food.
Well, fork him. And that's it? You didn't seize the opportunity to, pursue it a little bit?
Like, what am I going to say? Is he going to tell me anything?
Hey, nitwit, what the hell's really going on?
Is he going to give me a straight answer?
No. No. But you know what I'm thinking? I don't think you're getting canned at all.
Okay.
I think this whole dog and pony show was exactly that. I'm hoping.
We'll see.
I think what it was an attempt to see if they'd get me to walk out. Didn't work. Didn't work, Jolly
theory.
Joe. I have to come up with. I told you, you'll have to kill me.
That might be part of the agenda.
What?
Killing you.
Oh, okay. Well, they are.
If they can't do it one way, they'll
not directly. They're doing it indirectly.
Right, exactly.
Put me in an early grave. Bastards, grave robbers. And of course, wasn't it Clarence that was asking a few days ago? Let's see how many days Neil's been out since the beginning of the year. Give me a list. Remember that?
See, that's why I told you. That's why they're concerned about your health, like how poor it is. They want to hear that you're coughing up blood.
No, I'm not. Boy playing with toy gun is shot by sheriff's deputy in California. A boy in Palmdale who was playing cops and robbers with a toy gun was shot and wounded Sunday night by an L.A. County sheriff's deputy. The boy was shot in the upper torso, said Deputy Ed Hernandez, sheriff's spokesman. He declined to release the victim's name or age. A witness told reporters at KABC the boy was 15. Deputy Jeff Gordon said the boy was airlifted to local hospital, was in stable condition. Gordon said deputies responded to reports about 8 p.m. that someone was riding a bicycle and brandishing a handgun. Deputies spotted the rider and ordered him to drop the weapon, but instead, Gordon says, he pointed it at the deputies, obviously having watched too much TV. The deputies, fearing for their lives, shot him once, Hernandez said. Later on, they determined it was a juvenile playing cops and robbers with a toy gun. Oh, my God, are you threatening me? Like that thing says.
Are you threatening me?
See, this is the way they do things. They can't do it directly. But just stop and think. How is unloading your salary, how does that compare with unloading mine?
Right.
And they certainly couldn't never save face, especially after this book that just came out. They could never save face.
Right.
By, trying to, directly, openly chase me out.
Right. Well, they can't anyway.
What do you mean they can't?
They can't chase you out without it costing them a lot of money.
Write a check, Joe. And where's my bonus check, by the way? Did you ask Clarence that?
No.
They got 10 days from last Friday. Well, how many days is 10 from Friday? Today? I think that bonus check better show up in my mail down there today, Joe.
Breach of contract.
Oh, geez, here we go. See, this is my idea of doing a show. And then they keep creating these crises over and over again. Threatening to do this and threatening to do that and yada, 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 and creating all this crap. And then Norma gets involved. Of course, once Norma gets involved, then all hell goes, everybody's life goes to hell in a handcasket. Carol and Ian in Hamilton, Ontario. Remember them?
Yes.
And they say, this is our third email this year. Hope we don't become chronics. No, you can email anytime you want. It says, Carol and Ian in Hamilton, not as bad as it looks from the Skyway. Oh, yes, it is. I've been in town. It blows. Real rednecky place. It says, hello, Neil. Just when I think they can't do another thing to screw up your show, they cut George. Unbelievable, it says.
Unbelievable.
We only hope George can get the show he deserves and take the revenue away from QM. Hit them where it hurts. We enjoyed listening to George's take on life and his knowledge to debate the Bible thumpers. This is our third email this year. Hope we don't become chronics. Dow's down 109.
Healthcare costs are commanding more and more of the money that our companies could be using to innovate and to grow, making it harder for them to compete around.
So Clarence said you're safe, huh? He said you're not fired?
No. I said, am I fired yet? And he said no. But, it's only 12:36.
Oh. Well, I got my BlackBerry on me all day long. even at Woodbine. And, of course, if I don't get the message, that means I'm in a part of the casino where it doesn't get the signal. You know, I hate that. Because if I get, like, an urgent message from Paco or somebody, like, I need money, or you know, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I can always pretend I didn't get it because, I'm in a dead zone in the casino, you know. Dead zone. A lot of those. Any casino you go into, a lot of dead zones. Michael says, I used to listen to you and George for years while I lived in South Florida. Now that I live in Vegas, I still listen to you guys on the Internet every day from 7 to 11 my time. I love George. He'll be missed, and I hope he keeps in contact with you, Neil, and tells you where he is. Then you'll let your listeners know. Then I'll listen to him, too. Thanks, George, for many enjoyable years, says Michael. Well, thank you, Michael, former Floridian.
Yeah.
He got out. Yeah, keep in touch, George.
Oh, I will.
Don't ask for money.
I won't.
If I had a whole bunch, I'd send you a big check.
Whatever. It's all good.
A lot of mouths to feed here.
I understand.
A lot of mouths.
Don't worry about it.
A New York rabbi convicted of molesting his daughter has been sentenced to 30 years in prison. Monsey rabbi Israel Weingarten was found guilty in March of abusing his daughter through much of her childhood. The trial was traumatic for the victim, who's now 27. Monsey. Somewhere in New York. You know where Monsey is?
No.
Maybe Mumser is what they meant. Mumser? No, Monsey. It's a place. Weingarten acted as his own attorney, put his daughter through a grueling cross-examination. What a bastard. What a Mumser. A Mumser from Monsey. During the trial, Weingarten's ex-wife testified against the rabbi and said on one occasion she found him half-naked in bed with his daughter. On another occasion during the trial, Weingarten brought his own son to tears with cross-examining him regarding a suicide letter. Real pleasant guy. I bet you he knows Joe Bell. Federal Judge John Gleason told Weingarten on Friday his behavior during the trial made his crime even worse, saying, "You seem to enjoy yourself in a perverse sort of way." The judge said he would never forget the woman's pain. Just like us here at QM, we feel George's pain. Now, maybe I did the wrong thing by telling you about Norm's email. I'm still ambivalent about that, huh?
No, I don't. I don't think you did.
Because just because Norm wrote it doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. He's assuming. Should I read it again?
Sure.
Boy, 673 on the pool. Fat Boy would be proud. Tubby Fat Chris would be mighty proud of us. Here we go. Norma Kant says, it's a done deal, Neil. This was written Sunday, 3:15 p.m. Prepare George for his termination this week. I don't think there's anything else you or I could do. I will write a letter in protest, but based on my last conversation with Joe, nothing has changed in his directives. Signed, Norman Elliott Kent. Can't. So maybe this is your last week, or maybe they're going to do it on Wednesday.
Okay.
Or Tuesday.
Or today.
Today at the end of the show?
I don't know.
If I was you when it gets to be 2 o'clock, I'd run out the door. I'd fly out of there.
I usually do anyway.
Do you?
Unless I got some stuff to do, but normally
I'd start flapping my wings and fly right off the damn top of those stairs.
Do
in
it
the back.
from home.
You know the stairs that Fat Boy fell down that time?
Yeah.
Those are the stairs. Fly right off of them.
Oh, Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
12:46, 14 before 11. You think that kind of fits into the situation? You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Justin says, this is just basic common sense. No one likes to see anyone lose their job. My heart goes out to George. What baffles me, however, is the fact that George has lasted this long. His obsession with drugs and TNA would have to go to get him fired on a ton of stations. Of course, there are other stations which engage in such fodder, and it's my honest wish that he find a job at one of them. Frankly, that's a bit of a lie. What I really hope is that George will use his unemployment to enter rehab and get his crap together. Can you imagine having a teenager, 20-year-old daughter talking to her father about getting high and her mother cheating incessantly in his many sexual exploits? I'm a fag, so I'm no prude, says Justin. But George is uneducated. Self-educated is nonsense and relies on adolescent topics to do his show. Neil, you are responsible, of course. You are responsible for having him on here to begin with, and now you're responsible for failing to take a true stand against his firing. Frankly, I've never listened to George over the summer, as I know how awful he is when he fills in. Flea was an obvious replacement. Oh, Flea wrote this. The minute that Flea stopped popping in a CD and I listened... What? The moment I heard Flea, I stopped popping in a CD and I listened. As I said, I'm a huge fag, a total neely. I'll listen regardless. But Flea was so much better than George. How can you blame him for being good? Bottom line, you're an aged, bitter old queen, and I like that. But George is someone who pretends not to be the homophobe because you pay him and let him run off at the mouth about his drug addiction. I don't pay George. George gets paid by the station. I pay Chicken Neck. Again, George, I'm really sorry about you losing your job, but I think you're probably brilliant behind the scenes. I hope you'd find a job as a producer, director, or whatever one does in radio when they have no talent for on-air exposure. Boy, talk about being all over the place. Mm-hmm. You're brilliant behind the scenes, and you're this and you're that, but you have no talent. And you're a D-bag, and an S-bag.
Yeah, yeah.
And a glad bag. And I'm an old bag, bitter old queen. How do you like that? This guy's got our lives down to a science. Again, same old crap. Let me just remind you of one thing.
This is the business we've chosen.
Amen. With or without the post-nasal drip. I don't know why, but more and more he's becoming one of my very favorite characters from those movies. From The Oddfather. Frankie Pentangeli, he's right up there. I'm talking about the less than obvious ones.
Yeah.
You don't agree with Hyman Roth?
I like him a lot. Sorry, I have to call somebody about a spot.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to play an outdated spot.
We're playing an outdated spot? On QAM?
Not if I can.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it. And what did Clarence say about the ISDN line?
Bada boop, bada beep.
He didn't even respond to it?
Wait, I got a text message over here.
About that?
ISDN may... I don't understand it. Maybe you do. ISDN may not be an issue. Move was pushed back to Friday. First show Monday from new building. Hope Digital Circuit in Friday. I don't know if that's from him or George Corso or what.
Read it again, please.
ISDN may not be an issue. Move has been pushed back to Friday. First show Monday from new building. Hoping Digital Circuit in Friday. There you go.
So they're going to come Friday in Potski around here, is that it?
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I know they put new wiring in here. They did something. They diddled around. Findlay, Ohio. That's the home of the great Joe Marsh Jr., by the way, Findlay, Ohio. A Northwest Ohio teenager has been suspended by his Christian school because he attended another high school's prom. Officials at Heritage Christian School in Findlay had warned 17-year-old Tyler Frost that he would be suspended and prohibited from attending graduation if he went to the public school dance over the weekend with his girlfriend. Frost said he didn't think going to the dance was wrong, even though his fundamentalist Baptist school in Ohio forbids dancing, rock music, and even hand-holding. What about gland-holding? I'm sure of that. Frost didn't go to school Monday. Instead, he and his girlfriend headed to New York for a Tuesday morning TV interview tomorrow. Teen says he's now getting Facebook and email messages from all around the world. Tyler, you're a stupid star now, Tyler. For Bissina Goya, man. Suspended by his Christian school because he attended another high school's prom so he could go with his girlfriend. Probably they're holding hands, or maybe even worse than that. Yeah. Maybe she even took a peek at it. Maybe she touched it. Maybe she, drew a stencil drawing of it. Jason, who's just really out of control today, Jason Strom, says, how about George Market's The Spick and Sud Show, or maybe the George and Footy radio extravaganza? Oh, my God. You and Footy, I mean, that no matter what you've done over the years, and you've done some evil things, but I mean, good God. Punishing you by pairing you up with Footy?
Yeah.
How's this show doing, by the way, Footsie? I noticed the fake Jimmy Syphilis hasn't chimed in much, especially since the book came out. Since we kicked big, sweat, smelly ass. I wonder why. Wonder why Jimmy Syphilis is so mum.
I don't know.
Alfredo says, I'm mad as hell. Joe Bell is a walking abortion. What do you expect from a guy who told you that war criminal Bush was doing a great job? Enough said. This will be a very sad day for quality local radio if George gets fired. If. I don't think they're firing anybody. I think this whole thing was a ploy. Let's push the old man out. See, and especially if they want somebody out before the summer schedule starts, who would they most be interested in pushing out? Maybe they don't want to pay me to do this summer thing, for 2 days a week and get paid full amount.
I don't know.
Knowing what a bunch of crazy bastards these people are?
I think they're trying to kill you.
Well, it's not going to work. It might, though, because I think...
I'm dying over here.
I'm thinking that. Where's my bonus check, by the way? And when is that ISDN line getting finished? I mean, that thing you read to me, that was like double talk. Mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
So they're moving into the new building? Oh, I see. Mickey Rooney was the size of a horse jockey, it says. He's vertically challenged, and he loves to lay it on the horses. Please eat blueberries. Keep that brain sharp as a pencil. Blueberries. I like blueberries, don't you?
Yeah, they're fine. They're
I
no
like
huckleberries.
poisonberries even better. Oh, here you go. John and Lake Worth. It says, if in fact they Schmidt can George, I would make sure that I do everything humanly possible to put on the worst show possible to land my contract. I'm already doing that. Play the rack, take callers, let them say, I'm your friend, this is Eddie, Jamba, etc. for 4 hours. You might lose a potential bonus, but it will be sweet revenge. I know, maybe you could get Jimmy Buffett to come to the rescue. Landshark Stadium, my ass, it says. What a stupid name. God, this place sucks. Stay strong, little George. John in Lake Worth, our friend.
Thanks, John.
He's our friend.
He's our friend?
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy. Oh, yeah, Jimmy Buffett's teaming up with the Dolphins. Now, what does that mean? Can you explain that to me? What does Jimmy Buffett have to do with the Dolphins, with football? Anything?
I think he's going to play quarterback.
I mean, well, what is that all about? I mean,
I don't know. It's a promotional
thing. That is one of the saddest marketing ploys. I mean, why if I'm a Dolphin fan, what the hell do I give a crap about Jimmy freaking Buffett and Land Snark Stadium? I mean, what is that? Do we have another press conference today or what?
No.
Here's one, I think, in support of you from a guy named Paul. 692 on the poll. We're going to do 700-plus votes today during the show. Remember the old days we used to do 1,000 all the time?
Yep.
Back when we had an audience? Still no message on the Jorge Sedano and Crystal Fernandez show. Not one spy report about across the street this morning with their highly vaunted big new morning show. Paul says, I've listened to you since 1988, and by far George adds more to the show than any other person you ever shared the mic with. When he takes over in your absence, he adds new dimensions such as computer tips, new music, and movies aimed at younger listeners. In short, he expands the listener base as he appeals to a younger audience. The other board ops and interns you have on don't have the on-air presence and, of course, the experience. I think the loss of George will hurt your show, especially on the days that you're out. I hope the various sponsors that pay for the time will realize this and rein in the knuckleheads that make foolish decisions like terminating George, says Paul. Rein in the knuckleheads, baby. The rain in Spain falls mainly in your
rectum.
Anus. So you're not getting too much assistance over there.
What?
They're hanging you out to dry? All your good friends?
Yeah.
Flea? Clarence?
He doesn't know anything. Clarence probably does.
Get out of here. He doesn't know anything. What the hell does that mean? He doesn't know anything.
That's what he said.
Well, like I said, maybe you're not getting canned at all.
I don't know.
Maybe this whole thing has been just one big fishing expedition.
A power play?
Yeah. What can we do to get the old man to take a walk? I'll tell you one thing. Wouldn't take much to get me to go take a nap right now.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
It's here. The season is upon us. My thighs rumble and my cheeks flush. That's baseball season, folks. I can just smell it. The place to be is at the ballpark, folks. An oasis, an island where you can grab a cold beer and watch the Cabana Boys take in a ball game. We're set to go now. It'll be Henshaw minding the hill this afternoon as Tony Molina steps in the box. It always amazes me someone so strong and so big being so tender. Molina's sporting a new tattoo. Man, oh man, definitely draws one's attention to his firm muscle madness. Henshaw now winds and launches a rocket, swinging a miss, strike one. It looked as if Molina was swinging for the parking lot, but nothing doing. Part of Molina's new tattoo touches the crease where his bicep meets his tricep. And I like it. And if one were to trace a finger, or anything else for that matter, along that line, one would imagine it would be like running your tongue up the side of a sugar cone. When the cream comes running down, the O2 delivery just misses low in the count even. Anthony Jorge Molina. Dark, golden, and gooey good.
Baseball fever. Catch it.
Yeah.
You fairy.
He ain't no Grady Moore size, I'll tell you that. 102 at 560 WQAM. It's our gigantic 1 to 2 hour. George is still with us. Maybe I'm going to get me a big calendar and put it on the wall.
Give you minutely updates.
Yeah. George is still here. Fursky says, sorry about this situation. I like Flea, but there's no way he doesn't know anything. That's right. You're right, Fursky. She's not naive like you. If they fired George and Flea didn't want the spot, then what would happen? Someone would have had to have asked him at some point if he would like the spot and if he would do it for X amount of dollars and yada, yada, yada. All those things. I mean, I like him just fine. You know, he's been fine with me and he's worked fine with me on the show and et cetera and so on. But he ain't you, number one. And number two, I don't believe him. And number three, is he an acceptable replacement? No. Roger Kaputnik says there would be nothing more entertaining than the Neil and Mo show. It would break all ratings records for sure. Neil and Mo. How low would you go? So they're moving into the new building next week. Is that what you said?
This Friday, from what I hear.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Well, maybe you ain't going.
Maybe they'll wait, until the move is done. So I can help.
Wait till we make our move to Vegas?
Yeah.
And then I'll be godfather to Connie's baby?
Right.
And then I'm going to settle all family business.
Unbelievable.
Maybe that's the plan.
Here's one from somebody. This past Friday, Bubba the Love Sponge was asked by a caller about you, and he praised you as if you were the second coming of Christ. Bubba said, Neil is an awesome talent and someone I respect more than anyone in the radio business. He then said, when Howard Stern asked me who to bring over to satellite, I adamantly said, Neil Rogers. How did that work out, Bubba? Of course, he had Norma Kent in the middle of that deal. And you know what, Norma? Kent. Living up to your name, I guess, can't be all bad. Neil, this must make you feel great knowing how respected you are in the business by the two giants in the industry. Congrats. Bubba the Love Sponge is one of the two giants in the industry?
Sure.
Oh. In closing, please tell Kimba Beaucamper that he slurs and stutters way too much, and it is very painful to hear him on the air. He truly effing blows. Zagacki, Beaucamper, and Stugatz are no-talent losers. Get them off the air now, please, with 100 exclamation points. Yeah, get them off the air. As if. Why do people write me crap like that? Like I've got some kind of clout?
I don't know.
I'm trying tenaciously and desperately to hang on to George, and they're giving me a song to dance, who to be on the air and who to get off the air. You people are crazy. Get them off the air. Nobody asks me, okay? In fact, if they ask me, whatever I say, they do the opposite, just like when they hired Fat Boy. Remember those days?
Sure.
Whatever we tried to tell them, we begged them, don't do it. And then, of course, they lived to rue the day, but don't listen to us. We know nothing. I mean, we actually used to work for real radio stations, some of us.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Mm-hmm. Chuck Daly croaked over the weekend, former coach of the Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
Won back-to-back championships with the Detroit Pistons and led the original Dream Team to the Olympic gold medal in '92. Chuck Daly, he's dead. How old was he? Doesn't say a thing here about how old he was. Not that it makes any difference, but... All I remember about Chuck Daly is he was always seemed to me like really temperamental, like always, like Red Auerbach used to be. Always red in the face and foaming at the mouth. But then what do I know about NBA? Nothing. I know everything I want to know about the NBA, which is nothing. Right.
He was born in 1930.
30? Boy, you're good. Won't remember you. So he was almost 80. Oh, here we go. From the fake Tom Jicka. Just heard from Steve Lappa. He would be interested in George and Suds for the noon to 2 weekdays and or 6 to 10 a.m. weekends on 850 WFTL. Steve asked, is Boca Brian staying with you or going with George? Chicken neck ain't going anywhere unless George wants to pay him. You going to pay him?
I'll see what they offer. See what's in the budget.
Yeah. I don't think he's going anywhere. Although he's tight with you, but I think he's more loyal to me.
I think he
could
needs
be
money.
wrong, though.
I think he needs money.
He needs money? Don't start that again, okay? You get pissed off at me when I do that. Now you're doing it.
I wasn't doing anything.
You're making those sounds.
Okay.
He needs money. Don't we all? In fact, I think I got another check coming up due to him at the end of this month. I'm not really sure. I think maybe it's like at the end of September. I don't know. Way off in the future. And don't be sending me no thing that says, please overnight the check. Don't do that, chicken. It's a bad idea. He did that the last time. If I could tell you how that frosted my ass. And you know how much I love him. But
you did tell me.
Frosted my fat ass. Please overnight the check. Like I'm gonna spend an extra $30 to FedEx it him. Like he can't wait a couple of days because as soon as he gets the check in his hand, he's in the bank cashing it, not depositing it, cashing it, which is fine. You know, he needs the cash. But if you don't have any cash, Haagen-Dazs has got a free giveaway tomorrow. I don't understand what this honey bee thing is with them. Do you understand that?
Nope.
I haven't seen any of those. Haagen-Dazs Honey Bee. Haagen-Dazs marks its annual Free Flavor Day, 4 to 8 p.m., Tuesday, May 13. This year, all Haagen-Dazs shops are giving away a free scoop of any bee-built flavor. Since bees pollinate more than 50% of the company's flavors, there will be plenty of choices. During the last several years, 1 in 3 bee colonies has vanished in the U.S. Everything from poor nutrition to invasive mites have been blamed. This year's Free Day gives Haagen-Dazs the chance to highlight the plight of bees and give back to the communities that support local shops. It's got a picture of a carton of Haagen-Dazs Vanilla Honey Bee. Doesn't sound too exciting to me. Vanilla Honey Bee. Does it sound exciting to you?
No, not at all.
Not in
Maybe
the least.
Put a whole bunch of chocolate in it.
Yeah. Now we're talking. Or that banana nut.
Ooh.
The store at Pembroke Lakes Mall in Pembroke Pines and Miami's Dolphin Mall will also feature appearances by local beekeepers. Ooh. I sure hope they don't get loose. To find a Haagen-Dazs. In fact, let's take Joe Bell and Clarence and Joyce and turn them loose in there and then pay a few bucks to the beekeeper to turn them loose. To find a Haagen-Dazs shop participating in Free Flavor Day, visit HaagenDazs.com if you can spell it. For more information on the honeybee crisis, go to helpthehoneybees.com. Don't you want to help the honeybees?
Yeah, I'll help them.
Get the honeybees, Junior. I didn't know we had a honeybee crisis. Talk about a freaking educational show, my God. I learn something every day.
Yeah, it's been in the news.
I think Flea ought to come in and chat with us during this last hour. I guarantee he's under penalty of getting canned if he opens him out.
Okay. I'll ask him.
What do you think?
I'll invite him.
You'll invite him what? To come in and chat with us?
Sure. He listens religiously, so I'm sure he's
does?
listening right now. Sure.
Is he the mole? He's out there hanging on every word.
He
See, that's the one thing I don't want. If you do get canned and they bring him in, which I think is what their plan is, I don't want him to be the mole. You know what I mean? In other words, I trust you, of course, implicitly after 19 years. Mm-hmm. I know that if I tell you something, you're not going to go running and squealing, to somebody.
Right.
But in his case, they got him in their pocket. You ever have a flea in your pocket?
Just this morning.
But it hurts like hell. See, that's what you're getting canned for, saying that too much just this morning. If you'd stop saying that, I think your job would be safe.
Right.
And, of course, now if you don't wind up getting canned, they're going to all say, oh, see, this is just a stunt. We were right. We knew it.
Yeah, it's a stunt.
Yeah. Stunt this. Lawrence, our good friend Lawrence, remember him? Good Jewish boy Lawrence? Sends a long, thoughtful message here. Lawrence is good. He's a guy with a brain. Not a goy with a brain, but he's a guy. Off the topic, I heard you complain about how they're cleaning up Amsterdam. According to the latest statistics, over 50% of births in the Netherlands last year were Muslim, and in under 10 years, the Dutch will be a minority in their own country. The Muslims are totally unintegrated. You can be sure that when they become the majority, it'll become the Islamic Republic of the Netherlands, and they'll ban all vices, sex, drugs, even Heineken. Booze is forbidden. So basically, there are only a few years left where the Netherlands even exists anymore. Most of the rest of Europe is not far behind. The Muslims, I'm telling you, they reproduce like ants, like fire ants. Hey, Neil, if George goes, what's going to be on the air during your off day? Some best of Neil from the 90s sounds good to me. Oh, yeah. P.S. Dead Rick Weaver sounds better than alive Jimmy Syphilis. Amen to that. Don't hear from Jimmy Syphilis no more. Andres in West Park says, I love you, Uncle Neil. Well, great. Not my type, sweetie. I'm sure of that. Are you faxing me something?
Yes.
Really?
You might already have a copy of this copy, but just in case.
It's a copy of copy?
It's a copy of copy, and every time they copy me with copy, I copy you. Even if you already have it.
Copy.
Oh, Neil! You're listening to Neil Rogers.
Hey, yo, man, what's up with your fakata, Mishpoha?
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits, and maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick, and then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch, and then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
All right. Okay, 118 at QAM. So here's the deal. Wait till you hear this email I just got from Norma Kent.
Oh, okay.
Neil, what and who is this? And he sends me a copy of the email that I read from the Phantom Informer. By the way, Michelle, thanks very much for emailing me the Tom Jicha article, the one that I read on the air like an hour ago from the real Tom Jicha. It's in the Sun Sentinel. Thanks, Michelle. I read it. Been there, done that. Norm, have you contacted Clear Channel in Orlando? This is a way to save George's job. Perry Michael Simon has been calling looking for comments. I still don't understand. From Linda Bird, Regional Vice President, Chief Channel, Central Florida. With a phone number and a fax number for the PD, Catherine Brown, and this one and that one, and Linda Bird, and the old turd.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand that, any of that.
Well, in other words, if he gets in touch with them and it's true that they want to simulcast the show on TKS, which I doubt, but if it's true, then maybe whatever they'd be willing to pay to carry the show, we could use to defray your salary.
Okay.
And save your ass.
Okay. In the meantime, Lee's here. You said you wanted to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Well, I tell you one thing. You got a big pair. So I hear. That's what the rumor is.
That's the word.
Oh, well, before we get into the fact that you lied, whatever. Bill Daly says, Bill in Miami asked, did Joe Bell show up at Ken Malden's tribute? Let me just read it, and then you can tell. Just wondering if that scumbucket Joe Bell took Hank's advice, decided not to show up at Ken Malden's tribute last Friday. Hey, Joe, were you able to work out that trade-out for the food and beverages? Some people know no shame. By the way, I think you're right. All this George stuff is nothing more than a ploy to get you to toss in the towel and say, I've had it. Way to hold the line, Neil. Screw them, says Bill in Miami. So did Joe Bell show up at Ken Malden's tribute?
No, he did not.
He did not?
He did not.
He took Hank's advice. Nice going, Jolly Joe, you turd. Why do you think he didn't show up?
I don't think he felt like it was going to be a comfortable situation for him.
Well, let me ask you. You're coming in here this afternoon. Do you think this is going to be a comfortable situation?
No, I haven't had a solid poop in like 3 days.
Why's that?
Because I'm in the middle of a crap storm. I got put here. I'm telling you, I haven't talked to Joe about money, about anything. Outside of the conversation that you and I had weeks ago before you went on vacation, I haven't talked about this with anybody. So if they got plans moving forward, I have not been notified of them.
So then how can he tell Norma can't, or how can Norma tell me it's a done deal?
I don't know.
Unless as we're suspecting, this is still just a ploy to get me to take a walk. It's not going to work.
I wouldn't. Why would they do that? You're the highest rated show on the on the station.
They don't care about ratings. All they care about is cutting money, man. I'm also the highest paid show on the station. By far. I mean, do you think it made sense to cut Hank? Money, man. That's what it was all about. It was all about cash.
That's true.
And the fact that Joe hates Hank like poison. I think he also hates me like poison.
Probably.
Really?
I don't know. It seems like there's some real hatred going back and forth.
There's what?
It seems like there's real hatred going back and forth. There's definitely not shtick on your end, I don't think, right?
No.
Okay.
No, because he treats people like subhuman garbage. Treats people badly.
Of course. And look at the situation that I'm walking into. Why would anybody want to put themselves in a situation? I'm walking into a show that's, A, coming off their best book ever, B, George is my friend, C, you're going to hate me like poison, and D, I've already got 4 jobs.
Hate you like poison.
I got 4 jobs already, so it's not like this is a perfect situation for me either.
So how much is he going to pay to do it?
I don't know.
Oh.
$8. But if it is going to happen, I hope they fire George before they work out money with me, because that way I can hold out for more money.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm telling you,
I'll tell you. George can tell you how much he's making, and then tell him you want exactly the same amount. In other words, if it was worth it for them to pay George that money, why would you do it for any less, especially in light of the fact you got all these other jobs?
Right.
Because they'll fire him if he doesn't?
Right.
So, in other words, you're in a position that you're the gopher.
I am in a no-win situation with this whole mess.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the fact that George and I are friends.
I'm your friend?
He's my friend.
Mm-hmm. So what do you hear about TKS in Orlando? You hearing those rumors, too?
Nah, just on the show.
Oh. Well, Norma Kent don't... You know, this idiotic email he just sent me, what is this and who are these people and what's this all about? What Norma knows about the radio business in the state of Florida, you could put, other than James Crystal Radio, which is not in the radio business, you could put in a thimble and have room for Joe Bell's ass left over. So he didn't show up at Ken's service?
No.
At either one, at the funeral itself or the thing?
Right, because during the funeral
and what about
itself,
the food?
During the funeral itself, he was at the that Dolphins press conference.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Priorities, man.
Well, I think the thing with the
conference.
food is that really Joe Bell wasn't even involved with it. That was more of a Chris Jones thing, and they offered to trade out the food so that the money that they were going to charge, because people had to pay $29 a plate, instead of the money going to Shula Steak 2, what they want to do is trade it out and then take that money and give it to Ken's estate to help pay for, the cremation and the funeral costs and stuff like that.
Wasn't that sweet? Did it ever dawn on them that he wouldn't have been there having the funeral in the first place if it wasn't for them? I mean, he was ailing, and old, 83.
And smoking for like 50 years.
And chain smoking most of his life. But nevertheless, they certainly hastened his demise. You don't have to respond to that because I know that, they expect you to kiss their ass. So you're honestly telling us that there's been no conversation between you and anybody there about replacing George on this show?
Outside of the conversations that we had that week that you went on vacation, no.
So how's that possible? I mean, are you willing to do it?
If I have to do it, I will do it. But trust me, if I was pushing for a show, wouldn't I push for my own show?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe Neil will walk out. It can be the Flea and George show.
Well, I actually tried to pitch me and George for 2 to 4, and Joe Bell asked me, what, am I George's agent?
Yes.
I'm like, I just think it'd be a good show.
He needs one badly. So do I. You just think what?
I just think that it would have been a good show. George and I work well together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's better. It could be better than... I'm sure it would get better ratings than half the stuff that we have on.
Yeah, half of the stuff.
Are you knocking the Big O? Is that what you're doing?
No, Big O is great, but it's hard to follow your show. And I think
the Big O is not great. Come on. Don't tell me the Big O is great.
Well, you know what I mean.
The Big O may be
rock solid.
But I doubt that.
I just think
a 2, though, in there. That's pretty good for us.
Well, I think that George and I doing a show from 2 to 4 would have been a nice segue from your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could hold that number in there.
Right.
And then pass along a good number to the Mad Dog as opposed to, like, zeros.
There's an idea.
Well, it always worked in the past. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden Mandis woke up one day and just lost it. It's not the way it works. It takes a couple of days.
Yeah, I've been through some crazy stuff in radio, but this, I think, is
This takes
tops.
the cake.
It's the tops, for sure.
Well, there's somebody lying to somebody, I'll tell you that for sure. Somebody is freaking lying.
Well, I have nothing to lie about because if it was happening,
I'm
I
not
would
saying
just tell
that you were
George.
lying.
I'd say, yeah, you know what? They're offering me $50,000 to do your show. I would tell him because if it's happening anyways, why would I lie about having talked about money? It doesn't make any sense.
Who says they're offering you $50,000?
I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know what the number would be.
Hey, Joe, Flea wants $50,000. And then somewhere during the conversation, there was something suggested in one of Norma's emails. I mean, I've been in the middle of this for days now, tearing my short hairs out. And there was something in there about how would I underwrite the rest of George's salary. And I wrote back, hell no, I won't. I can't afford to do that. I've already taken a 50% pay cut. I've got 800 mouths to feed. Would I underwrite the rest of Georgia? How about if I underwrite everybody's salary? How would that be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not going to happen. But Flea says he'll do it for 50. So maybe George can renegotiate his deal with it.
Is there an auction? Is this an auction?
So when do you start, Flea?
I don't know.
Now, do you think there's a possibility this thing might not happen?
I think there is a possibility that this might not happen. But I would say at this point it might be slim.
Really? Well, how do you know that?
Because they've cut to the bone. I don't know where else we can cut. I mean, we're so understaffed as it is, it's ridiculous. I mean, that scares me more than anything, Neil. If $50,000, $60,000, whatever the money might be, is so important to this company, how solid is the company?
Rock solid.
And you're messing with the #1 show on the station.
They don't care about that. They hate me like poison. They wish I would croak a wicked death. When he starts asking about how many days have I missed and about my health and yada, 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 that doesn't sound too promising to me. Okay, well, thanks, Flea. It took big balls to come in there. Took a big pair. Go to bat for George. He needs your help. He's your friend. Give him a big kiss right on the lips. Boy, it got awful quiet all of a sudden on that end.
Yeah.
28 past 1 at QM.
Oh, God.
Little GTO.
The 65 Pontiac GTO. It's the swingingest car. 1965. The year of the quick wide track. There's a little GTO in every new GT37, and you don't have to be over 30 to afford it. That's pure Pontiac.
Pontiac GTO for 1967. Isn't it time you decided to ride the wide track winning streak?
Want to see something really exciting?
The Aero GT. Now, bucket seats, full carpeting, and even a real walnut dash. Low-priced one. One of the wide-track Tigers from Pontiac.
In 1977, the Pontiac Trans Am is destined to become America's #1 sports car.
For a road machine that really flies, get a Firebird. A Pontiac Firebird, the magnificent 5 from wide track country. Flying out of your Pontiac dealers in mass formation. Check out a Firebird today. You'll find one to fit your personality and your pocketbook. Everything from 165 horse overhead cam Firebird fun machine to the fabulous 325 horsepower Firebird 400.
Breakaway, it is free. Breakaway, in a GTO.
The 1971 Le Mans T37. When Pontiac builds a low-priced hardtop, it doesn't look low-priced. And the luxurious Firebird Esprit, they're all pure Pontiac and all at your Pontiac dealers today.
Oh, and don't forget this one.
April 20th, 1769. Ottawa Indian Chief Pontiac is murdered. We now present Chief Pontiac's Famous Last Word.
That's not it. Remember the one I played on Thursday?
No.
The Pontiac one, the real short one, the jingle?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell happened to it? What was that on?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Did it come from Boker?
No. Well, it came in the package. That's bad. That was a cute little thing, a little jingle. Can't find it. That's bad. But we're almost out of time anyway. It's 1:35. You know, why should we get all upset about it?
Right.
So what do you think?
About what?
Flea.
I told you I believed him. People have been making fun of me since I've been saying that.
Yeah.
Nevertheless.
Well, I think you might be right. I mean, why would he come in there and go through that on the air?
I don't know.
If it weren't true. But by the same token, how could, well, of course, Norma's a goofball, you know. How could Jolly Joe have been leading Norma down the garden path about your imminent demise if he hadn't made some kind of alternative plans for what they were going to do?
I don't know.
Oh, here we go. Neil, you are so full of it. Are you kidding me? Just like every other queer I know, you talk and threaten and do nothing. Threaten to do what? You totally kissed Flea's ass. No, I did not kiss his ass. What do you want? What do you want here?
I don't know. Fly down from Toronto and beat him in the face.
Yeah. Face-to-face interrogation.
Waterboard him.
An inquisition. One of those QM inquisitions like we always used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those?
Sure.
Every time somebody would say something or leak something out, there'd be an inquisition in Greg Reed's regime. Okay, let me read the whole thing. From Mark. You're just like every other queer I know. You talk and threaten and do nothing. You totally kiss Flea's ass. You're such a loser. Up yours, buddy. I'll never listen to you again. You've made a fool of yourself, just like you did when you got caught in the theater and you were forced out. Oh, yeah, I was forced out. I've been out for 30 years. You're a total coward. You sell George out in a minute. You could care less. You have enough money to live on forever, but money will be always more important to you than people. Typical fag. Well, enough the rest of your miserable life. Oh, enjoy the rest of your miserable life. I won't be listening. I promise. You without George will lose the ratings. Nobody wants to listen to a tea room fag. Give it up. You're no longer interesting. You're just an old troll who can't even stick up for his friends. You disgust me, truly, says Mark. Well, you know what, Mark? Bye.
He ain't going anywhere.
No, of course not. And his name ain't Mark, but nevertheless.
Right.
Oh, here, wait a minute. This might be the one. Pontiac going out of business? You think?
Give it a shot.
You disgust me, you old fag. Everything in there is about fag this and fag that.
Pontiac, we're going out of business. Oh!
Yeah, that's the one. Let's just play that the rest of the day. Okay. The real Phantom Informer says, I've told you this before, I will say it again, that was not me. I'm retired as the Phantom Informer. In fact, I'm out of the business, thank God. I don't even have that little picture I used to include at the bottom of each fax anymore. If I ever find it, I'll send it to you, but if it's not there, except for now, it's a faker and not me. I send faxes, not emails. Except no substitutes. Love and kisses, the real Phantom Informer. Yeah, all that crap about TKS and about Sirius, it's all the same garbage again. Whoever was the fake Greg Budell. They waited for a little while. Now here's the other opportunity. The guy gets canned up there in Orlando. So far, nobody's offering anybody a dime, okay? Nobody's contacted anybody, and nobody's offering a dime. And Norma don't have any idea what it's all about, as usual. I mean, if I'm going to be working with Flea, if that's what it's going to eventually wind up being, which who the hell knows, what am I going to do? Antagonize him to the point where there's just enormous hostility? I don't think that probably makes any sense. Do you?
No.
But he claims he don't know nothing about it.
Right.
Here's one that says, what a crock. George is over. Get it straight. He's a jerk and a smartass who has no talent and never has. He would never get on the air in any other station. I hope he has to pimp his wife out for a living. I mean, why not make a living off marital infidelity? What a jerk. Never heard Flea, but surely can't be worse than George. What a total loser. Can't wait for his absence. Neil, you're a talented but queer. That's a problem, but I can live with it. Oh, it's a problem. I can't live with George, a short dude with a Napoleon complex who tells wild stories about his lack of life. Give me a break. You're not fighting for him because your heart knows he's not worth fighting for. Right. You're just being a huge female genialia and trying to maintain peace. Give it up, gay boy. You're over next, says Chris. Maybe it's Fat Chris.
Uh-huh.
Another one of our close personal friends.
You're listening to Neil
He's our
Rogers.
friend.
Well, here we go again.
Floridians, dumb as dirt.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
It mixes it all up.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
It puts them both together.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
When the eyeball falls out,
it puts the lotion in the basket.
Then it has to hose it down.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
It's what I have to get.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Need to rub it on my breast.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I have to dry clean my skin soon.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I said, Doctor. I switch my BP in my legs. I say, Doctor. I like to dance around his waist. And Mommy. Are the lambs quiet today? I said, Mommy. I want to look more like a woman.
My name is Buffalo Bill. It puts the lotion in the basket.
It makes it for my skin.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
I hold my PP in.
It puts the lotion in the basket.
How much does it cost?
It puts the lotion in the basket. I've got my skin suit nipple necklace.
I'm dying over here.
14 till 2 at 560 WQAM. We got the
rock solid
Big O coming up at 2 o'clock. Now, what did Flea say? That he's sensational or something like that? The Big O?
Yeah.
Now, was he biting his lip when he said that or what?
No.
Chris in Fort Lauderdale says, within the last few months, there was a day when you were on vacation and George was sick. Has WQAM forgotten? The show was an unmitigated disaster. Way back in high school, I took a mass media class, and everybody was assigned to put on a half-hour radio show with the classroom equipment. The 4-day marathon of pain forced me to realize that it takes talent to be a radio entertainer. After listening to Flea and the Beast stagger through a few minutes of the show, I was forced to exercise my option to change the channel and was again reminded of it. It takes talent to entertain people. I'm ready to revolt, says Chris in Fort Lauderdale. Chris is revolting. So I sent Norma a email, although I never got a reply from him about that TKS. You know, you think he's going to call anybody and talk to them, or is it just another stunt?
I don't think he's going to call anyone and talk to anyone.
Oh. And I sent him a return email saying that Flea claims to know nothing about replacing George, and this whole thing may have been just a ploy, just a test to see how far they could push me before I walked out. I'm not walking out. You can come in there and take a big dump on the middle of the counter there. You can do whatever you want. I'm not walking out. We got a contract. We got a deal. I'm taking the money. In addition to which, very soon we got that summer schedule coming up. Soon.
Yeah.
Like the last part of June rhymes with soon.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a really idiotic piece of crap with just a phone number, no name. Subject Islam. Regarding the Muslim takeover of the Netherlands and many other places, thank you and your generation for leaving us such a wonderful world to live in. So I'm not only responsible for the fact that you may get canned, but I'm also responsible for the world is in the shape that it's in.
Glad you know that.
Because the Muslims are taking over at Nederlands or wherever else. Yeah. Remember those T-shirts that Steve Nickel had made up? It's Neil's fault, blank, and then on the back it had, if it rains, if you have wild diarrhea, it's Neil's fault. Whatever bad stuff happens, it's Neil's fault.
We all knew that.
Yeah.
Neil, God.
That's right. I've got the power. Gus says, what a great idea, as there is no general topic show that I know of after your show. If they can't see the George and Flea show, it would be great. They must be as dumb as you look, says Gus. Meaning me. I don't look good, but I don't look dumb. Do I look dumb?
No, you look numb.
Numb. Yeah, no, that's it, numb. Maybe it was a typo. They must be as numb as you look. They're numb. Skulls. John in Brooklyn's got a good point. He says, I've long told friends of mine who have expressed interest in getting into radio to get real stable jobs. Unless one wants to work for minimal pay, live with a U-Haul trailer permanently attached to the back of the car, radio is an industry past its prime, stripped of any real chance for creativity by onerous regulations and overly cautious, bottom-line-driven managers. Boy, absolutely correct. George deserves better. He's proven to be a real talent, the proverbial consummate professional, and someone with too much kindness and class to work for the likes of the beastly Beasleys. If he must leave, I hope he finds a better gig at a real radio station or rechannels his talents into a more financially successful medium. George certainly deserves better, says John in Brooklyn. Amen, John.
Thanks, John.
How do you like that? See, the nice people are the people out of town. The people in town, It's like that.
Coincidence?
No. Bob B. says, I'm saddened and dismayed at those ass clowns at QAM. Having heard you speak of it all this time, I thought George's termination may happen, but hey, Norm has been totally wrong on many occasions before, right? Yeah. Let George know he'll be missed if, in fact, the deed goes down. I'm sure he'll turn up in the local market, and I will listen. As one of the previous emailers said, sometimes change is for the better, and George will make the best of it. As ever, I'm your friend in the Florida Keys, Bob B. He's our friend. Isn't that great?
Yep.
Here's Lawrence. I threatened to read this a while ago, but it got lost in the pile. A lot of emails today, man. A big pile of them. Brandon was right about that.
Yep.
Lawrence says, I don't know or understand what Bell is thinking or what he thinks getting rid of George would accomplish. Does he think this is a way to get you disgruntled enough that you would quit? Or is this just another string of moves on the radio that will do nothing but continue to plunge the station down the toilet? But you know, one thing about the toilet, Lawrence, and that is that once you flush it, whatever's going down, it doesn't usually come, although once in a while it comes back up.
That's right. Encore.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Once in a while, it floats back up. I hope George stays on. Nothing against Flea, but Flea ain't George. George, especially as your sidekick, but also as the fill-in, is a special talent. He also apparently understands you better than just about anyone else who could work with you. You understand me?
No, I don't.
Does Bell think that there would be instant chemistry with Flea and you? I'm sure you'd be professional about it on the air, but does Bell really think you just continue on without being PO'd, and noticeably so? And this keeping George and you hanging is fairly cruel. This is playing with someone's livelihood. Bell isn't on the next to die list, is he? But maybe he should be. Good luck to George, whatever happens, says Lawrence.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Thanks, Larry. Jesus says, have you seen Little Tommy's answer regarding George and the Sun Sentinel? Yeah, I read it on the air from the real Tom Jicka. He says, I hope George stays. It would be a real shame for somebody else to fill in when you're out. George does a fine job and keeps many of us listening when you're on vacation or out for any other reason, like being sick all the time. You know me. Take care. You too. Take care, Jesus. I never got to the thing from this atheist guy. It's just... Oh, and I also never got to Boomer ranting about Ken Malden's funeral. I'll get to that tomorrow. And also never got to the thing about the poll they took in Dade County. Among 400 Catholics polled in Dade County, most support scandal hit Reverend Alberto Cutie, saying the church's celibacy rules are outdated. 74% of those surveyed, including Hispanics and non-Hispanics, opposed the Catholic Church's prohibition of priest marrying or having any type of sexual relations. Only 22% said they supported the celibacy deal, while 4% said they were unsure or gave no answer. I mean, if the Lord would have wanted priests to be celibate, he wouldn't have given them a penis, would he?
Good point.
They could have peed through, like, a pee hole, maybe through a long, like that, instead of a weenus.
We're going out of business. Oh!
I love that. I could just play that all day. In fact, maybe we'll play it all week. So you think I got a reply from Norma yet about my email about Flea said this and this one said... Norma is so out of touch, man, because he's a big shot. He's in federal court.
I understand.
Dealing with... everything is a big federal case.
O'Neill, it's Dave in Miami town.
Absolutely.
At 560 WQAM. Here's my story, it's sad but true, about a girl called Syphilis Sue. Had a bug and ran it around, gave it to every guy in town. Hey, hey, oh, oh, oh.
from a sip